Facebook.
Welcome back to the 10 Lions Podcast. I'm your boy Jelani Lion, aka Public Enemy #1. This is episode 34. In this episode, we will be discussing wrapping up the Velas situation, mental health from men's perspective, Chris Brown $500 million defamation lawsuit versus Warner Brothers for documentary, and more. So make sure you watch all the way until the end so you don't miss a single thing. Also subscribe, comment, like, and share. This episode especially is brought to you by Wise Choice Foods. The right choice is the wise choice. Make sure you get yourself a plate. All this culinary delicious cuisine is brought to you by Wise Choice, and also the episode introducing 3 OGs of the community of Kingston, New York. We got Marnique, we got Tyrone, and we got Evan. Appreciate y'all for coming through today.
Hey, appreciate you for having us.
Thank you.
Guest, shameless promotion. If they don't know who you are, starting from Martinique going down, can y'all introduce yourselves and what you do for the community and whatnot?
Yeah, this establishment that you're in, this is a Seasonlicious Foods. It's also the Evolution Center. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have multiple businesses that me and my wife oversee. One of the other businesses that we oversee, we have a nonprofit that's the main thing that really touches the community. We focus on entrepreneurship, educating on the circulation of our dollar, and mentorship to help infuse the community and just kind of just change the direction of our mentality from employee to employer, you know. So that's my take as far as what we do.
Fire. What was your what's the name of your nonprofit?
Season Gives.
Season Gives. I appreciate you, Marnique.
Yeah.
Tyrone next.
Yeah, my name is Tyrone Wilson, aka Big Pop. I am a founder of a non-for-profit organization called Harambe Kingston NY Inc. We're a cultural non-for-profit organization which we educate in culture through arts and performances. We are the founders of the African American Festival here in Kingston, New York. We also bring the Juneteenth celebration here. We are partners of the Black History Kingston that we do here in Kingston every February. And you know, we are now, you know, owners of two facilities. One is the Pine Street African Burial Ground that's located at 157 Pine Street. We have a African Cultural Arts Center that's coming up, and that location will be 231 Clinton Avenue. So we're a big part of this community and really bring contributions to this community.
Fire. Thank you, Tyrone. Big F.
My name is Evan Anderson. All I can say is that I've been here working hard for years, and I'm going to continue to do so. Let's move on.
Okay. Let's move on. All right, so look, before we get started and everything that we about to get into talking about, I just want to give the flowers. I give Marnique flowers every time I get the chance to. So he already knows the deal. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that's in this room right now as either an older brother or an OG-like figure and whatnot. You guys do either incredible things for the community or incredible things for my life. Martin especially, I wouldn't be half as the businessman that I am if it was not for me meeting you and your guidance and direction and whatnot. So I appreciate you. I want to say that publicly.
Oh, appreciate you.
Tyrone, we had one of the illest conversations I've had this year and probably last year. So I can't wait to see what kind of collaborations and different directions, positive directions that we go in the future this year. So thank you for being you. Evan, you already know the deal. You've known me since I was in diapers and whatnot. So you really like a big brother with and without blood. So I appreciate you for coming through. I know you camera shy, so I appreciate you popping out
So love,
as
man.
you should and whatnot.
All love.
So I want to ask you guys before we get started, how is your mental health currently?
What do you mean?
How is your mental health? Like, how is it? Are you feeling healthy mentally? Are you feeling stressed? Are you?
I think
Is that a
that's
layered question?
That's a layered question, right? So because I think, I believe, especially with men, I think we're really just starting to tap into realizing, a lot of us are just starting to realize that we all have mental health issues, right? So we're starting to tap into that, and we're trying to unpack what that's like, because we've lived our entire lives, just retaining in everything inside. You know what I mean? Just getting over it, just moving on. Not crying, not talking, not doing. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of us, I believe, most men are walking around with a very poor mental health, and they don't even realize it. We just high functioning. You know what I'm saying? So for me, not to be long-winded, for me, I believe that I'm doing well. There's a lot that I have to work through. You know what I'm saying? But I think that that's the healthy part about it. The fact that I know that I have a lot to work through,
Right,
and I'm currently working through that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah. So, and especially with our men's group that we do, that's extremely healthy for me. It's been the best thing that I've done. As a I don't know if you want to call it a business or organization or whatever, but as coming together as a group or as a team, creating that men's group was probably the best thing for me personally, and I know a lot of the men that's a part of it. So that's helped me a lot too.
That's a fact. That's fire.
Yeah.
T?
Yeah. I'm mental health has always been a struggle. Mental health has
That was your joint. I just needed.
and what I mean has always been a struggle is that part of acknowledging and understanding the world is a big part of mental health, and me being a very deep cultural individual and understanding a lot more aspects than thinking about the past, the future. It's heavy on the mental health. So I'm always there's a struggle, there's empowerment, and there's that middle with me as far as mental health. The more I think, and the more I see, and the more I understand, it gets a little bit deeper. So I think mental health is a huge criteria in everybody. I think the way people see mental health, whether how they determine what mental health is, that plays a part, because you still have a lot of people who don't even realize that they have mental health issues. And when you are that person, to me, I think it's not possible for every human to have a mental health issue. That's my opinion. I think that what the world created for us and the aspect that it created for us, it has everything to do with our mental health. So, long story short is that mental health is a struggle. It's a struggle for me, and I'm every day. There's not a day that I don't deal with mental health.
That's a fact, but I feel like that's normal. I feel like everybody should feel somewhat like that, because you can't go a day without dealing with mental health. In my opinion, do you agree with that, Martin?
Yeah, I agree. I think just like what Pop is saying,
There's
a lot
levels
of
to it, though.
the people don't we're just starting to put a word to it. You feel what I'm saying? So a lot of times when something becomes normal in your life, when you're dealing with some type of trauma or being uncomfortable in some type of way, you think it's normal.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But now we're just starting to address that it's actually something that you got to pay attention to and put work into,
Right. Very
true.
into putting maintenance into it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Pop is actually saying, that I'm finally dealing with, and I'm saying the same thing. I'm finally dealing with a lot of these issues that's pretty much plagued me my entire life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I feel that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Evan, your mental health, how's it feeling?
My mental health is at a nice balance right now. I think a big part of it is the fact that I'm self-aware of, what triggers me, things that I'm actually weak at, Acknowledging those things for what they are, and at times, not just keeping it to myself, but being able to share it with people who's going through some of the same similar things that they may not actually speak about.
Facts.
I just think that it's very important that, that some things that, you keep it private to yourself. Nobody wants to be judged or looked at a certain type of way, but I think if we all tend to maybe open up just a little bit, we'll find that we're not alone in a lot of the things that we're going through individually.
Let's go, Evan. That's what I'm talking about, Evan. There's a lot of gems being dropped today in the first 5 minutes. Yo, Ev, I said we wasn't gonna talk about your personal life, and this is real light on the surface. What's it called? You said 2 minutes ago it was 6 days that you've been off bogeys and whatnot. I hope that's okay with me sharing with the world and whatnot. But how does your mental health feel about that?
It's called karma, sir.
That's all right. That's all right, right?
There goes the journalism, but no, it's something I actually never saw myself even starting. Honestly, I didn't start actually smoking until I was maybe almost 30.
Okay,
and which seems kind of almost retarded. Why start then? But it's just I can't even tell you why I started at the time. It was something that I actually got into, and as little by little, it just became more of a thing and. It became a choice of me not wanting to stop as opposed to just knowing not to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yo, Ev, all jokes aside, my fault to you. All jokes aside, I only brought that up because you know how many people are in those shoes? And know how many people are trying to quit or whatever the case it be. So it's it's a joke because we was joking about it earlier. But it's real. Someone else is taking note of that and damn, I need to quit. I'm on day 2. I can get to day 6. You know what I mean? So it's people that haven't even started trying to quit yet. Damn, if Evan could quit, I didn't even know that Evan spoke. If Evan can quit, I can definitely quit. You know what I mean? So it's so many different perspectives that can benefit from that little piece that you just said.
No, you're right about that.
Come on, journalism.
It goes back to what I was saying before. If you don't share it, you don't know who else is going through it with you.
Right.
So who may be able to use that gem and everything. So I get it.
I would say too that it also go to what Evan just said. It also goes to a point, especially in your adult life, is that watch your habits. Be careful of what habits you embrace, right? Because Evan just said, I don't even know why I started. When I started, and I grew into it, and it becomes a habit, right? And that's in all things. It's not just in smoking cigarettes.
Facts.
It's in all things. So
Facts.
you got to watch your habits. You got to watch what you engage in, because sometimes is to Evan's point, it's so unconscious that you don't even realize you made it a habit.
Right.
You
It's
don't even
controlling
realize you kept it going.
Right.
And then now, when and unfortunately, what happens is it always takes something very serious to happen to make you realize, yo, I've really been doing this for so long. And until, as you just heard Evan just speak on his situation, was that I didn't even know why I started, how I started. I just started. And then, that's when I was 30. Evan, you in your 40s now, right? So you got over a decade now to where he's really, really starting to process now the habit he picked up almost over a decade ago.
Right.
But that's what I call a silent habit.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We just going in life, and sometimes things we just go and go and go, and we don't really realize it till some type of break hit.
Right. Yo, T, you just bodied that. Like I was just saying, the different perspectives can hear what Evan was saying and take different things from it. It's not to be cliche, but it was it's like looking at a painting and different people be able to take different pieces of it. The way that you expanded that to he's talking about cigarettes, but that the habit of it applies to relationships, different drugs, alcohol, bad family members, whatever relationships in your life, whatever. They're all habits though, and they're all toxic and whatnot. So again, somebody could be watching this, whether it's right now or in the future, and take damn, this person is like cigarettes. I need to put this shit down. Or this cigarette is like this toxic person. I need to put this shit down. You know what I mean? So it's that's what I'm saying. And I encourage anyone that's young or my peers or whatever the case would be is to link with your older people in your life, whether they're men or women and whatnot, because they do have wisdom and gems through experience that you do not have, or you just hearing a different perspective, like because they have experienced life in different ways for a longer time than you have and whatnot. So hopefully again, we haven't even started talking yet, but hopefully people take the messages within these few couple minutes and use them wisely and whatnot. So yeah, thank y'all for telling me how y'all mental health is doing and different breakdowns of mental health and whatnot. My mental health, I'm gonna go last obviously. My mental health has been crazy, especially this week. Normally it's a little crazy, but this week especially has been nuts. Just like, have y'all ever, this is basically how I break it down. Have y'all ever been in this situation, like basically been in a room full of people, whether it's in a real room or like virtually or whatever the case may be, is you have a message. Your message is logically sound and everyone is telling you you're wrong or you're crazy.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what that is like mentally, like how that feels? Like it's like if you let it, emotionally is one thing. Emotionally is one thing, because a lot of times when that happens, when you let it affect you emotionally, it's bad. But mentally, if you even if you're mentally strong, it's still like a mind fuck. So I'm telling y'all, the sky is blue, or gravity, or like the earth is round, because now there's like freaking people that think the earth, I'm not even gonna get into that. But you know what I mean? Like pointing shit out blatantly about Donald Trump. Like, I'm giving you the facts. Talking to Trump supporters, this is a perfect example. Talking to Trump supporters, I'm giving you the facts that he's racist, he's sexist, he's homophobic, all these different things. And you like, he's a good guy, or he's good for America. And now look at what America's doing, the different things, or whatever. So it's like that type of terminology, or like that type of ideology, where it was like, that's been my week. But as someone who is attempting to be patient, to be more mentally strong, to be more mature, to be more this, to be more that, I'm standing strong on my message, because again, y'all, the people that are calling me crazy are not saying anything that is wrong with what I'm saying. Like saying that if I'm crazy, prove that I'm crazy. Prove that I'm wrong. It should not be that hard. And if you start coming at me about my family, about my this, about my that, who really looks crazy?
But Jelani, it's not even so much about family per se. I really think it's about.
No, I'm saying people were coming at me, like I asked the question and people started coming at me about my family. So two different, like unrelated things. That's like if you ask me a question, I start talking about your mom. What the hell is that, Jelani?
I hear what you're saying, but like I said, to piggyback off what you were saying about family and everything, it's just people won't say anything or impose anything unless they know there's a crowd for it. Unless you know you have an audience for it.
That's tough.
You know, so, and that's good, bad, or indifferent.
But is that good or is that bad?
No, what I'm saying is if the issue is good, bad, or indifferent.
No, I'm saying the reaction. If people are only posing something because they know an audience is watching.
I think there's a lot. I think social maturity lacks on both parts, right? Because
I agree with that.
Because here's the reality: you have the truth, you have your story, you have the next person's story, right? So if you're standing on truth, that's where you should be focused on.
Of course.
You shouldn't be focused on whether I believe what you believe or not. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to ask yourself, when you're having these conversations, what's your motivation for having it? Are you having this conversation with me so we can have a healthy debate and you can actually hear my point of view on why I think you may be wrong? Or are you having a conversation because you're looking for validation in what you believe?
The first one.
The first one,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're looking for a healthy debate, then
Not even a debate, just a question. Just answer, like posing a question, having a conversation. But you're right.
But what you said is that you spoke a truth, that Donald Trump is racist, he's misogynist, he's sexist, blah, 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 whatever the case may be, right? What I'm saying is that if there's a person that does not believe that,
Okay.
then you should be standing on what the truth is, right?
Of course.
If this person doesn't believe that he is, and you believe that he is, somebody's wrong.
Right, of course.
Right? Somebody's wrong.
Of course.
But neither you will, maybe none of you will know who's actually wrong.
And then there's perception.
There's perception. You understand? So what I'm saying is that, okay, you can speak on something from experience. And what does experience mean? Do you know Donald Trump?
No.
Have you ever met him?
No.
Have you ever been in a room with him?
No.
Nothing.
No.
So all the information that you've gathered from Donald Trump has been from somebody else that's reported on him, correct?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. The person that thinks that he's not a racist, right?
Right.
Have that person ever met him?
No.
Been in a room with him?
Yeah, no.
None of those things.
Okay.
His perception of him not being a racist is based on information that he's gathered, right? So at the end of the day, what I say we because me and Pop talk about this all the time. We've found ourselves arguing over people who don't even know our names, bro.
Okay.
Don't know who we are, don't know that we exist, don't care that they don't care that we exist.
Amen.
And we're arguing over people's character, personality, lives they live. And people that we actually know and spend time with and actually care about, we're severing relationships over people that we don't even know. And we're swearing by.
And none of this is helping us get to the next level.
And it's not helping us. So what I'm saying is,
you're sticking to the political aspect, right?
I'm just going by what the example. I'm just using the example that you use because to your point to Evan, when you're asking these questions and somebody's now being personal towards you, that means something you said about this individual has touched the nerve. You understand what I'm saying? Now they can't continue to attack you with the information on this person because they don't know him. They're gonna attack you personally and your family and so on. So this is what's happening to us as a society for the past 12 years.
Speaking to the choir.
You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is social maturity. Sometimes social maturity is reading a room and saying, "Yo, is this even a conversation I want to have?
Right.
Is this even worth a conversation I want to have?"
Question to you before real quick. Are there uncomfortable, quote unquote, uncomfortable conversations that are necessary to be had?
Absolutely.
Okay,
but
I think that's the case.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you say
and we're definitely gonna get into it too. So
there's uncomfortable conversations that's needed to be have, but you got to pick your circle that you're gonna have those conversations with.
Right.
Individuals,
and I get that. I don't mean to cut you off, but as a podcaster,
right?
That's the name of the game.
No, I'm not
like Joe Budden. No, you're good. I'm just saying because what you're saying is right as a man and a person who doesn't have a podcast.
Right.
But when you have a podcast, then it's you're having this conversation and it's open to interpretation by hundreds of thousands of people or whatever the case of is.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
Where it doesn't be okay, and it's okay. Like we talked about, this is really not okay, but it's okay when it will be okay. Is what I'm telling myself and like keep that mental strength and whatnot.
Right.
People thinking you're crazy and then acting crazy, like it can't really be both. I mean, it could, but it's not.
Someone thinking that you're crazy and them acting crazy.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Because obviously, technically, it could be to be crazy, two crazy people. But
so you just said that. Look what you just said. You said somebody's thinking you acting crazy, but they acting crazy.
Right.
You have to understand. This is where the individual you comes into play at.
See, I'm gonna let you go. I'm just gonna respond. Yo, shout out to Jamila. Jamila said Trump supporters are a perfect example of this. So exhausted. Go ahead.
All right. So this is a perfect example, right? And I think I could speak on this piece, especially with all the crap that goes on my name, right? I have people I don't even know, right, that makes decisions that analyze who I am and
right, that don't even know you.
They come at me about, and a lot of them don't even know me. A lot of them are affiliated with somebody, right, who has been around me at some point, right? Know of me. And I have also realized too, and this is a fact, this is not even my opinion. I have seen people make decisions and make judgments because they fear someone that they're connected to, right? And to be on the side of that person that they fear,
it benefits them.
It benefits them because they would never tell that person when that person is out of order. They will never tell that person, yo, chill, you out of order. But they will allow that person to be out of order, but when it comes to me, they have a lot to say. So what I'm saying to what you just said, if somebody who is telling you that you're crazy and then coming at you acting crazy, your individual self. This is what Conor Martin's talking about. Where do you put yourself above that? What do you analyze? Like, as I told you, I'm not going to say the person's name,
Right, you're good.
but the comment, right?
Yeah.
What did I say? I said I'm not going to even entertain that. Because she's going to look like a fool by me. I don't even have to say nothing.
Right.
Because I'm speaking about two people that I personally know,
Right. And I get you.
and I
got you.
care for, and I love, and I saw something, and I'm saying, hey, y'all, stop. Go behind the scenes and have a conversation,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's me engaging into
Social maturity.
hurt
bro.
that's happening
Yeah.
amongst us. And I'm a person that's tired of seeing hurt. I'm tired of seeing us go at each other. I'm tired of seeing us hurting each other. So if I'm tired of seeing that, I can't just say that out my mouth. I have to put actions to it.
Of course. Of course.
So that's me putting actions to two people in our community that's a disagreement is getting very toxic, very crazy.
Right, right.
And then you start seeing the audience start gaslighting it.
Of course.
Right? And not and encourage y'all to go at each other more. I'm choosing to be on the other side of that.
Right.
I'm choosing to be in and say, hey, listen, yo, I love both of y'all. Like, you know, if you want, I will even come and sit down with y'all if I have to do that. But just please stop.
Right. No, I get what
Don't
you're
stop putting it on the platform. Stop doing that to each other.
Right, right. Of course.
Because as I told you before, sorry, bro,
Yeah.
we are the only cultural people who does that.
Who do that? I was just about
I
to say
just
that.
told you when I had a conversation with you.
Yeah, of course, of course. Of
I
course.
said I know. I've
only
been
ones,
I've been in a high political seat.
You know?
I saw the disagreement that a lot of these politicians have with each other.
Right.
But you will never see that on social
Publicly,
media.
never.
You will never see that publicly.
Nope.
They will get behind the scenes. They may talk to their own entourage and be like, yo, this person, that person, that. In public, they shaking hands, they smiling, they go. You will never see them do that.
Now, Tyrone, let
that's
me
a
ask you a
fact.
question because something like this has been brought up previously in the podcast when I was talking to Quasi. I asked him the same thing and he disagreed. Do you think black people are like that due to conditioning?
Yeah.
Yes. Listen.
Okay.
Let me see. I listen.
That's
let me-
why I only asked you
So-
that because
so-
I was told
Right.
no.
So here's the thing. If you paid attention, what happened to me, right, in this city, in this county, all this stuff, right. Here's the thing. I also told you, the Pine Street African Burial Ground. Instead of them seeing the Pine Street African Burial Ground, they see Tyrone. Instead of them seeing Harambe, they see Tyrone. But there's a narrative that went out there that Tyrone is controlling, Tyrone don't let people do this, Tyrone don't let people like. So now, people put that out there, right? And this is the instead of them seeing it for themselves or getting that experience for themselves, it's so easily consumed. They just take it on as if it was a real fact.
It's easy
right?
to accept.
Right. It's the easiest thing to accept. Now, I told you this before. I have more Caucasian people supporting the Pine Street African Burial Ground, supporting Harambe than our black and brown brothers and sisters. And it's not only Harambe, it's not only
Yeah.
Pine Street, it's general, the businesses, the events, everything. And then we sit here and say, well, what's going on? Well, here's the storyline. We're broken. We have to admit it. Okay? We still have not got over the whole enslavement chain, the DNA that's within inside of us. We are, listen, the structure of America, and this is what a lot of people debate about. Fine.
Fine.
But the structure of America, I have not seen America put on any structure to keep any other culture down other than us. You don't see plans in there for China. You don't see plans in there for Italy. You don't see plans in there for other cultural people. The plans is always based around us. I've been in the county 3.5 years. I have seen, when I say this, and I'm gonna say this, when we out there shooting and killing each other, and families are really hurting, and they lost their loved one, while we out here crying and protesting and going through all the days of grievement, they like this.
Statistic, yeah.
You know why? Because they take that statistic, they take that body, they take that burglary, they take that addition, and they put it in writing, and they send it up to New York State in the federal government and say, we have a crisis here. That turns into millions and millions of dollars trickling down here that
Never
doesn't
see.
even touch us.
Never see it.
But we are the statistic that they use to get those millions of dollars.
That's crazy.
So when I'm sitting and telling you my frustration about us
Yeah.
is so high, it's so high because you know what? We are even at the point that we can't even sit down and be told this type of story.
Of course. Yeah. Hell no.
Because they don't hear the story. If they have a problem with you, they only see you.
Right.
And then I got to tell you right now, half of the problems, I don't really have a problem, but the problems that people do have with me, I can't even pinpoint it.
Right.
So what I do with all that stuff is like, listen, I'm outside.
Right. Okay.
I ain't hiding nowhere. I'm outside. So I ain't hard to find.
Right, okay.
If you have a problem with me, holler at me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you know, sometimes I may not even know that you have a problem with me
Facts.
until somebody else say something. You have a problem with me, holler at me. We could chop it up. You understand what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm not here to be on no violations with anybody.
Right.
You violate me, I'm gonna violate you. It's just that simple.
It's that simple.
We talk. I'm here to talk though. I'm here to fix that. I
That's
don't
that
want
Harlem,
you.
okay?
I don't want you to feel that way.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're not willing to come to the table, then
What's the problem?
that's just it. You just want the problem.
Right.
But you're gonna live in that problem by yourself because I ain't living in it with you. I'm off. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm here to say like, okay, let me know what happened, why you feel that way. We can chop it up. I want to fix it if it's something that I did.
Right.
Because maybe it's something that I don't even know about.
Right.
But we don't even get to that part. We
Yeah.
just go right to the bang.
Right.
And it is a condition. You know, to answer your question,
Right.
it is a condition. We are conditioned in this fabric that we are so broken that everything is controversial with us.
Right, and it makes sense. It makes sense. Like all you gotta do is look at the history. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and we should break that habit or that cycle. But it's like I think Evan said, it's one of those things that's easy to accept. I think in a weird toxic way. I'm not speaking for myself, obviously. I'm speaking for like the majority. But I don't know, Evan, you got anything on this?
I think it's just I agree with Pop when he said that people need to have a conversation. You need to discuss it because at the end of the day, you may not know how you affect someone else. You could have did nothing, or you could have did something. But even doing nothing still could affect the next person, and you don't know what you don't know to the extent of how you made that person feel.
You said even doing nothing can affect the next
Absolutely,
person?
doing nothing sometimes is the worst thing you can do.
Okay.
No, honestly.
Okay. All right. Sheesh. Hopefully we can get through everything because we topping it up. So question real quick as we wrap up the Bella situation because we really haven't talked much about it. Marnique. If I ask, is Marnique a king or a bum? What does Marnique say?
I'm gonna say I'm a king.
Tyrone. If I ask you if you are a king, is Tyrone a king or a bum? What does Tyrone say?
I'm a straight king.
Evan, we talked about this. If I ask you if you're a king or a bum, what do you say?
Okay.
Now, real quick, to follow up with that question, did I asked you all the same question? Did I call any of you bums?
No. Oh.
No.
So that's a part of the wrapping up the Bell situation. I was accused of calling Bell a clown by asking, in a journalistic way or podcast way, or for a headline, for a title or whatever, is he a hometown hero or is he a clown?
Right.
And a majority of people took that and said, what is wrong with you? Why would you call him a clown? You call that man a clown, da-da-da. I'm like, no, I'm asking you a question. I'm posing a question for y'all to, and that was only one part of the question. The next part of the question was, let me just pull it up real fast. Hold on, fellas. Hold on. We're cooking with gas. Just I want to be on point and accurate with what I say. The next part of the question is, should someone receive flowers and praise from his hometown, even though they do nothing for their hometown and community?
All right, let me.
Honest question.
Okay.
How do you take that question? Is that question?
I take that
How
question?
is that a bad question?
The question was, should a person receive praise from their hometown, from making it out of their hometown, right?
And doing nothing for their hometown and community.
If they haven't done anything for their hometown or community?
Yes.
Are you asking me the question, or are you asking me is that a terrible question to ask?
Let's go with the second one. Is that a terrible question to ask?
No, I don't think that's a terrible question to ask at all.
Tyrone, next.
I don't think it's a terrible question to ask. I'm just going to stick to that one. I don't think it's a terrible question to ask.
Ev, last one.
It's not a terrible question to ask,
But-
but is it a necessary question to ask?
I think so.
I think
Alright,
from the standpoint from the journalistic standpoint,
Okay.
it's a very good question to ask. Now, I think if you have more meat and potatoes behind it,
Of course, there's still
on
more
why
to it.
you're
Yeah.
asking. If
Yeah.
you have a certain belief that you're
Yeah.
trying to portray now, that's
Right.
something
So,
different.
let's
You
get-
know what
let's
I'm
get-
saying?
let's get to that.
I will say this.
Go
Let
ahead.
me say this.
Go ahead.
I would think that because, once again, I'm a person who came up with Mace. I came up with Rex and Effect, Teddy Riley, Guy, the whole crew. And they was very successful in the industry. Cam, all of them, very successful, man. Very doing their thing in the industry. So I want to add Velas to this piece, right? I'm not from Kingston, but Velas is an individual from Kingston that has gravitated to some success. I think that in that aspect of itself is worthy of giving that brother
Absolutely,
flowers
yeah. I
and
agree.
praise.
That he made it out. Absolutely.
He made it out.
Yep.
He made something of himself. Because let me tell you something. Here's the thing. In our communities and everything that we do, right? So I look at it this way. I'm a total different person today than I was back then. A lot of stuff that happens today, a lot of people wouldn't have a chance with me. I'll be on the street.
Okay.
That's not my mentality today, right? So the people build and look at success monetarily all the time. I don't look at it that way. I look at success on how you change your life. What is your mentality like on the things that happen to you, like today? What some of the violations that happens with me, I tell you right now, we wouldn't be talking. I promise you that, right? But I'm super excited today about the man I am today.
Of course.
Because I don't have that mentality.
Right.
So I am successful in life because of that. Velas, I will give that man his flowers because he could have went a whole nother way. And as long as we have those aspects in our life,
Right.
that there is a left and a right that we can go,
Right.
and we choose to make the better of it,
Right.
that is success, bro.
Right. Of
That's a
course.
fact.
So I will totally give that brother.
So, go ahead.
I would totally give that brother his flowers. But
Right.
let me say this too.
Go ahead.
I was also part of a team that brung Velas here when the BSP was here, right? I was part of the team that brung Velas back to his hometown. Here's what was disturbing about that.
Okay.
Velas was very uncomfortable to come back here and perform, and it was a little bit crazy for me because I really didn't understand the history of Velas at the time, right? I didn't understand, I thought bringing Velas back here would be a great thing, you understand, for him in his hometown.
Family.
His family, everybody. But I remember having the conversations,
Yeah.
I remember having a conversation and it was like making sure we had extra security, making sure we had, doors, rooms searching, doors and blah. And I was just saying like, whoa,
Yeah, it's crazy.
whoa, that's crazy. That I can see that,
In a different time.
and you're in a different place, but this is your home. But I'm only saying this to bring a light to.
Right.
This is not just about Velas. This is about us. Because the fact that he felt that way, we have to understand that's a message. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm digging deep dive in this. Like we bring this boy, we bring this young man home to give his home, you know, a show, you know, and celebrate him and celebrate the home and celebrate everything else.
Right.
But we like have to make this thing Fort Knox for him to even come out the car and come in.
Right.
So I'm thinking about it in that aspect, right? Is that's on all of us.
Right.
That's on us, right? That's on all of us. Because regardless of the anticipation, the mindset, we already see how many artists already got killed right in their hometown. Just in it's history, right?
Yeah.
So that's us.
Right.
That's us.
Right.
It's not just in Kingston. It's just us in a whole.
Right.
And so I say this, you know, to Martin's point and to your point.
Right.
You started a podcast, so you're in journalism. People have to understand that. You understand what I'm saying? And people have to. That's why I say people take a time out. And remember, I put on your post. Look what y'all arguing over. Remember, I said that, right? I said, look what y'all. Nobody's stopping. Stop. Look what y'all arguing over. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody's on go. You don't take a time out to stop and really process what you're arguing about. So, what I'm saying is that, in the good mind, and in the process of understanding a brother and a sister, stop. Think about what y'all arguing about, and I bet you will see a whole different fruit of what you're talking about.
Right.
But people have to understand, as podcasts is the new thing. It's still being a journalism,
Right.
and you have to create topics.
Right.
And people also need to understand to not take everything so personal in a way. And you're creating a platform, but everybody doesn't look at it that way too.
Right. When you're not doing
So it goes back
it's
to
hard
kind of what Evan just said. You know, people hitting a nerve, and remember I just told you, if people feel connected to a person, if people feel whatever, it's going to determine. And Martin was talking about this. Unfortunately, that determines how people are going to
How
react.
people respond.
And this area is so small as well. You know, everybody's so interconnected somehow on some level that, you know, you're gonna end up pissing somebody off even with the slightest thing, because someone's gonna feel they have to come to the defense of the next person and everything. But to go back to what Pop was saying about how when we did the show and everything, why he wanted all these provisions as far as like added security and everything in the hometown you're from, we don't know what that man came from. At least I didn't know. You know what I mean? So to not know why he requested these things,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, or why he hasn't been here for whatever the reason, you know what I'm saying? Like for us not to know these things and then to kind of just like dive on, you know, on top of it, not knowing what's going on, like it requires more investigation.
Right.
You know, so just taking the time out to do that
Right.
and inquire, that goes a long way.
I got you.
You know, because there could be a reason why, you know, maybe just didn't want to be here or why he was reluctant to do so, but still did. So just got to see where someone's coming from and get an understanding, and then implement things moving forward that are appropriate.
Okay.
If I could touch on that a little bit
Go
too.
ahead, man.
And I'm probably going to go in a much more radical end.
What's that?
We have to stop having expectations for other people on what they should do for other people. Let me tell you something. When you come from
I disagree with that, but go ahead.
Okay. Well,
That's
I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Okay. We're supposed to serve, right? Like I believe that we're here to serve, right? And I believe that we're here to do well for others. I believe that we're here to do that. But we have to stop being so egotistical to expect that somebody else's success, we have an obligation to somebody else's success. Especially when they come from our hood. Because I'm gonna say this, man. I don't know this young man. I've never met him. Or maybe I have. I don't know. Maybe I met him. I don't know. But what I'm gonna say is this. I don't know. Martin Dunkley does not know what he went through to achieve what he's achieved.
Okay.
I don't know what he's had to spend to achieve what he's achieved. I don't know how many sleepless nights. I don't know if he's had to sleep in a car to achieve what he achieved, if he had to go to another state to achieve. I don't know what he has done, and I don't know how much of Kingston has poured into him to achieve what he's achieved for Kingston or any other state to feel like they have an obligation to judge that man for not giving back what they perceive he should be giving back. Now let me explain what I mean. As a black man or a black woman, when you come through struggle and you achieve, and I'm not just talking about on a famous level. If you come out of the gutter and you become a nurse, you've achieved. You're successful. If you come out of the gutter and you become a car salesman or you doing anything else
Anything positive.
Anything positive, your city should celebrate that, because you know why? By you achieving, you've already given back to your city. Because you've now become a visual example that you can make it and what you can achieve if you continue to work and stay focused.
That's what the focus should be on.
You've given back to your city. Just by getting out of it.
Okay.
You've given back, right? Now, to Pop's point.
I disagree, but go ahead.
You disagree?
But go on.
No problem. So
I want to know why.
So I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell
letting
you.
the man talk.
No. Well, I'm gonna say this. We can definitely discuss that, because this is one of the things that we fight for. Myself, Tyrone, what we fight for, representation.
Okay.
It's the main thing that we fight for when it comes to entrepreneurship, when it comes to being in the room. The reason why there's a 13 to 14% of black folks that's in Kingston and only 1% is in the county, and all those type of things. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that's why I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna change your mind today why representation is the most important give back to your city. Because
I agree with that. You know that?
But
I agree with that point. You said two different things. Representation is important, is an important give back.
Right, but I just said.
But making it out of your city and not is, to me, is not like, so what's better representation? Let's do this.
Right.
A person that makes it out of their city and doesn't look back at their city, doesn't say a word about their city. No one knows where they're coming from. They're actually embarrassed of their city when they're brought up in interviews.
Okay.
Or a person that makes it out of their city. Or actually, not even a person that makes it out of the city, because I could use you guys, all three of you guys, all four of you guys, as an example, as someone who are all successful in their own rights.
Right.
And also give back to the city. What is a better representation?
What is a better representation?
What is a better representation?
I think both have strong representations. It's just on one different side of the spectrum. Because we choose to give.
How, Myron?
So-
I'm gonna
explain.
But all right, but let me just say one more time before you explain, because you were just talking for a minute there. I just explained two people, two different sides that are both successful. So they're equal in that right.
Right.
One person does things for their city, or people do things for their city, uplift their city, uplift their youth, uplift da-da-da. One person doesn't. Right there and there, if I ask you what's the better representation.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Don't
ask the question, answer the question.
I'm answering the question.
Okay, go ahead. How do I know what he does and do?
How do you know what he does and does not do?
Brother, you're not, okay, I don't know what he does and doesn't do, but I do know.
So it stops there.
So
it stops there. If you don't know what, hold on, Pop. If you don't know what he does, hold on.
Went away from the point. You went away from my example. First,
I'm gonna use a perfect example.
Can you answer my question?
I'm answering it, but you won't allow me to do that, right?
No, you asked me a different question, but go ahead.
No, it's
you
not
asked me
different.
How do I know what he does and doesn't do?
Listen
That's
to
not
what I'm
answering
saying.
my question initially.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Your perspective is that
Yeah.
he doesn't give back to the city at all. That's your perception, right? That's your reality. That he doesn't give back at all to the city, the city of Kingston.
Like in different ways, yes. And I think that we actually all have said that, like, because you said the last time he was here and did a performance or whatever the case may be was
No.
10 years ago.
Listen, I want to stay rounded on this. I want to stay round. I don't want to
So,
guess.
and guess what? This is how we can easily do this. I don't know what he does for the city. Does anyone else know what he does for the city in the room? So we all have the same perceptions, but what are we talking about? It's not an opinion at that point.
I'm just listen. What I'm saying is this: you do not know whether he does or he doesn't. You don't know if he does on a micro level, or you doesn't, and he definitely doesn't do on a visual level. Because what you're saying is that you haven't heard it, you haven't seen it, right? So to you, he doesn't give back. But you don't know, you have no idea what he has done. You have no idea
What's
if
the difference?
he is
What's the
doing
difference?
it.
Wait. What's the difference between saying that and saying that Donald Trump cares about black people?
Let's not go there. Let's go to this.
Why not?
Hold on.
Why not?
Listen. You got
Because that's what you're doing right now. What you and Evan are doing right now is a cop out.
No,
because we're saying that because we don't know this, we don't know that. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. That's not reality.
This is all right. Let's use LeBron James. Let's use LeBron James as an example.
Okay.
That's
a beautiful example. Go ahead.
LeBron James has given back, right?
Of course.
We know he's given back.
And we don't have to ask that question.
Why do we know that he's given back?
Because documented. Because
it's documented.
Public.
Because he has a PR team.
The volumes, the levels of which he's given back.
It's not the levels because it's nothing special about his levels. Because other players.
What do you mean? He has a whole school.
Other players have done it. What I'm saying to you.
That doesn't mean it's not less special because other players have done it. Go ahead. What do you think?
Listen what I'm
Talk
saying.
about it.
Listen what I'm saying. LeBron James has done an incredible job of building his own PR team that no matter what he does, it's celebrated.
Okay.
Right? I'm not mad at him about it.
Do you think Bell doesn't have a PR team? I'm sorry for cutting you off. If you're gonna be, don't get frustrated though.
No.
It's literally a conversation.
Because what happened is that
Go ahead.
I'm about to show you what I'm talking about.
All right, so go ahead. You don't have no reason to get frustrated though. We're just talking.
No, I'm just stopping. I don't want to overtalk you.
Go ahead. Do you think?
You have LeBron James who has that PR team.
Yeah.
It has always been said Michael Jordan has never given back. Never given back, didn't care about black people, so on and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When Michael Jordan bought the Charlotte Hornets,
Okay.
he had one of the highest rates of hiring minorities in the league. He made it a point of duty. He didn't advertise those things. He put money in the community year after year. He never highlighted those things.
Okay.
But because it was not discussed, because it wasn't highlighted,
Okay.
it was always said, yo, Michael Jordan don't give to the community. He's selfish. He only thinks about himself in comparison to LeBron James, who doesn't open schools and so on and so forth.
Right.
What I'm saying is that you may be right. I'm saying is that we don't know.
Right. Let me ask.
So the only thing we can stand on
Right.
is that how long has he been an artist? How long has he made it out?
Now you're going to a different point. I want to speak on that point that you just left. Don't leave. You go into a different point. Can I speak to that point before you go into something else? That's fair, right? Damn.
It's all about.
All right. Let me just speak to before I answer your question. Let me speak to that point because you're about to leave and go on a different point because you're talking for a long time.
Okay.
With the difference between what you just said about Michael Jordan, the fact that you were able to say that he gave jobs to minorities because you know that even though it was publicized or not,
Right.
because you knew that fact and was able to give that fact, which none of us can do for the person we're talking about,
Right.
makes what you're saying a misconception about Jordan. That's what people are saying is a misconception because you're able to provide a fact because we are all in the same tape, all in the same room. And even when I had the status where 50 or 100 people were commenting, there's over 200 comments, 12,000 views, literally, everyone was saying what y'all are saying.
Right.
You don't know what he does, he doesn't have to do anything.
Right.
But one is a fact and one is a misconception. So you're making an example, but it's not an equal example. It's not an equal. Because one is a fact and one is.
But
not even a fact. Now, let's not say a fact. Okay, but there's no fact that can be has been brought into the table that confirms that is a misconception of the man we're talking about.
So it shouldn't be an argument in the first place then, because you're not
That's
basing
a cop out then.
How is
But T, go ahead.
Listen, let me just ask you a question. See, this is what I was saying about when I mentioned Mace and all of them. This is the thing. Why do everybody feel that somebody's success has to come back to their hometown? That's my first question.
That's what I'm trying to ask.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
Why, if you are a very talented rapper yourself, right? I like a lot of things that you was doing.
I dabble.
Right? I'm just saying that's my perspective, right?
No doubt.
Somebody may hate your joint. Like, I'm just sitting here saying that for what I saw.
Yeah, I got you.
I liked it, right? You get successful. And this is what you got to understand, the different mindsets. And it's okay to have different mindsets. you get successful, it's in your heart that you're going to remember that my success, I'm going to come back to my hometown. I'm going to build the after school program that I came out of. I'm going to make sure the community got food. That's in your heart. That's you. That's what you want to do in your success, right? If Velas is getting his success, and his success is like, you know, I'm going to do something for kids in Brooklyn or kids in Staten Island or kids or whatever, right?
He's giving back.
Isn't that okay? Like, isn't that okay? You see, because we are taking control or trying to take control of somebody else's success and what they do with it.
Not true. I'm not trying to take control of the man's success.
Listen what I'm saying.
I applaud the man's success, but I'm
Right.
trying to hold someone accountable.
Right, but what I'm trying to
to
say
what,
is this.
though?
So what I'm trying to say is this. My point is, if you did research and you found out that Velas did absolutely nothing for Kingston,
Okay.
but
But
he did something for a whole bunch of kids all over this other areas,
Right.
is that okay?
sure.
It is okay.
Sure.
All right. So what I'm sitting here saying is that it's what I heard and what I
But then
seen
the conversation, I'm gonna
was
cut you off. The
him
conversation
coming back,
Go ahead.
being successful,
Uh-huh.
and giving back to his hometown.
Right.
Right? That's what it was about, right?
Yes. I mean, yes.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, yeah. I was just going to say the conversation would be different if he did that, because again, you just made up a whole hypothetical, different from Martin's fact about Jordan, which was a fact. So I don't want to be
Because
misconstrued.
it has to be-
the
it has to be-
conversation would
it-
change to he does
But
for
Young King,
all
Young
of New
King,
York.
It has
Go
to
ahead.
be. It has to be hypothetical because nobody has facts.
Right, because you're stating your question like it's a
You
fact.
don't have a fact that he didn't do nothing here in
That's-
Kingston.
that's a
And
fact.
so no one. So but like that, I think that's crazy that y'all co-signed that.
Co-sign
No,
what?
co-sign what?
Because at the end of the day, I can't think of anybody else. I mean, there's so many people that can be named: Marnique, Tay Fisher, Tyrone, Jesse Canny,
Right.
Evan, Jeffrey D'Aguilar, different people
Right.
that have given back to the community.
Right.
But there's
Rob
more.
Dassey.
But listen, bro.
So when it's like
there's more
when you do
people-
it, it's hard to see. Like giving back to a whole community somewhere else.
Right.
Is Vel's not giving back to a whole community
How do
somewhere
we
else?
How do you know
But how
that?
do you know?
That's why I'm
Because
saying.
again,
Suppose he-
because again, when people give back, it's documented, it's shown, and honestly, Vel has again. If we're, if
Yo,
we're really
that's
gonna-
not true.
A lot of
That's
people.
not
Listen,
true.
listen what I'm saying.
Just
King.
'cause he don't walk
So
around
he's
with
so,
his hands
what I'm
so
saying,
again
King.
because so
King.
I'm wrong because I don't
No,
know,
no,
but
no,
y'all
no,
but
no,
y'all are right
no,
because
King,
y'all
listen what
also
I'm
don't know. That doesn't
King,
make any
King,
sense.
King,
I
listen
don't
what I'm
care to be
saying.
right or wrong.
There's a lot of listen.
ahead.
Mace don't know a motherfucking thing that I'm doing here.
Okay.
Cam don't know a motherfucking thing that I'm doing here. People from my hometown, my home,
Yeah.
don't know a lot of things that I'm doing right here.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But does that mean I'm not doing it?
No, Tyrone, let me speak to that real
Please.
fast.
Answer this
All
question.
you have to do is right now I can go in, type in Tyrone, whatever your last
Right.
name is, and guess what's gonna pop up?
Right.
Harambe.
Right.
And then oh my god, I
But
found
you,
out.
but you're
but you
lying.
know why? You know why?
Why?
Because the Deli Freeman documented
That's
that.
a fact.
Okay. I'm not saying that Vel's gonna
city-
document his
the
own
city-
things, and he does.
Wait,
that's
wait,
that's why.
wait.
That's why. Listen, real quick. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't want to be just. I'm not definitely not. I feel like I'm not being
no,
disrespectful.
no. I like
because
this. This
yes,
is good.
This
This
is
is good.
perfect. But I also feel like this is dangerous because I know people are commenting online, agreeing with y'all and whatnot. But it's to their own detriment. Honestly, what's it called? We're talking about. I'm not saying that Vel has to document his own stuff, but I will say that when he's producing for someone, or he's songwriting, or he's doing this, he's not afraid
He's put it out.
to document.
Right.
So again, that is
Because
another. That
he
points in
picks and
another
choose.
way.
No, it doesn't. Yo,
That's
listen,
crazy,
Jelani,
Martin.
listen.
I can't believe you
Jelani,
don't get
listen.
that.
Bro.
Listen.
Take your time. Take your time.
Before I had Season Gives, before I had Seasonlicious Foods, I was giving back to the community.
Okay.
Nobody knew about it. Only the people that I was giving to. Do you know how many nurses? Do you know how many bus drivers in this city. You know how many people, how many residents in this city give back to the city, and nobody knows because they don't have an organization. They don't have something to list that.
Are all of them as big as Bell?
But that's not the point. So,
Again,
so now you're that's the problem.
That's the problem right
That's what I'm
there.
talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Because now
What is the problem?
Because I'm gonna tell you
Listen.
why. Because you're not holding everybody accountable. Because I'm gonna tell you why.
That's the problem
I just
right there.
said to you.
You just-
I just.
I'm really trying to hold a man accountable. I'm not holding anybody accountable.
No, you're not.
Nah,
Because I'm
bro.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why.
You just said it, bro.
Because now you holding him to a certain standard because of a certain level of success that he's achieved, and that's not fair.
That's not fair.
That is not fair.
No, I'm no.
Yes,
No,
you are.
no,
Because you might think he's a millionaire,
No,
or because you might
you had
think
an
that
He could be a millionaire at
You
that.
had-
That don't
you-
matter. Let
listen.
me speak to his point real
What
fast.
I'm saying is,
because again, that's a misconception.
Listen,
you just
what
said
I'm
it,
saying
though.
is,
Let me clear it up because it's clearly unclear.
He is entitled.
Right.
If he was as wealthy as Jay-Z, and I pray that he does, if he had that type of wealth, or he's just a regular person working at Walmart and they both giving back and we don't know about it, everybody's entitled to their privacy. Some people don't want anybody to know what they do. They do it anonymously.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? All that I'm saying is that I don't know that that's happening. I don't know that it is. I'm just saying
Okay,
that
so
we have
speak to the
grant-
point that it's not, because you're painting a picture that it is when it's if it's not, then that's a whole.
I didn't paint
So
the
let me
picture.
ask you this.
What?
We just.
And I was trying to speak back to that point too,
But
because
Marcus asked you though. Wait,
Go ahead.
Marcus asked you. He asked you, do you know if Velas is not doing something for this community? And you said you don't know.
You said you don't know.
So you answered that question. You said you don't know. Right? No,
You don't know.
Bro, you
Because
just said it.
listen, I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say, because let me make it clear. I quote unquote I would say no based off there's no facts to back it up.
Right?
Right. So you
So
said
you don't
like,
know.
so it's still no, bro. It's no.
don't know.
Oh my God!
Listen.
You have to.
Oh my God! That's crazy to me.
But let
Okay,
me
go
tell
ahead.
you, T, bro. So do you know that I launched a $1.5 million campaign to implement the youth design at the burial ground? Do you know that?
No.
You don't know, right?
Right.
And I'm right here, right? I'm local, and you
Right.
and you don't
look,
even know.
and you just
right?
and you just put it out there.
Right.
So it's
listen,
understood.
It's not
chose-
about
I'm not saying that I know it. Like, this is a
Conscious
weird
choice,
point.
though.
Listen
Go
what I'm
ahead.
saying though. Listen what I'm
Go ahead,
saying.
go ahead,
though.
go ahead.
I'm just trying to prove a point, right?
Right.
We right here, and you don't even know that happened, right?
What's nasty is, I'm gonna cut you off, but what's nasty is if, again, I don't know, y'all don't know, but if it's like, again, if facts points to it not being the case, but y'all are not co-signing
anything.
but if it is true that he is not doing anything and has not done anything for over 10 years, blah 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 blah, then y'all are doing all this.
He's not entitled to, bro.
Wait.
All right, so let's speak to that point. Let's do that. Y'all never past.
But let me finish what I'm
And
saying.
it's fine because I'm
All right,
okay. I'm
all
okay
right,
with the
but-
public looking
but
at
let
me
me-
a
but
certain
see,
way,
no.
but y'all are helping
But
that
see,
point
the thing
because
is,
like.
see, listen.
no,
It's fine. Let's
Young
go.
King, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Talk to me.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Talk to me.
We just said earlier in this podcast
Yeah.
that you have to be an individual person at sometimes, and pretty much a lot of times. I think you're too concerned about that outside audience and what they're
Never.
saying, right?
No.
because you bring it up like 3 times already. About
do you mean?
You see, bro.
Well, this point. Well,
Listen,
the
that's what I'm
point. The
saying.
point was
All right.
The topic was
Right.
talking about.
No,
that, so, yeah.
we are talking about it, but in talking about it, you just acknowledged to us that we're fusing what everybody else is saying. They may be agreeing with us, and blah. You said that about 3 times.
That's true.
Right. So that means
Right.
that is a
bothering
concern of
Yeah,
for
it's-
you.
No, it doesn't bother me. And yes, it is concerned
It
because
has
again,
to, bro.
No. I mean,
Okay.
I guess,
Concerned
like,
about it.
but not like the
Hand
way
on
that
there.
it's like
Hand
it's
on there.
okay.
Let me go back to the point.
Okay.
Let me go back to the point.
But I only
Let me-
again,
bro,
I said it was
King.
It was because it's a detriment to
All right,
the
King.
people that
Let
are
me
listening.
go back to the point. The point is that you didn't even know that I launched a $1.5 million campaign, right? Let me tell you why I'm saying that to you. There has been a great amount of people who had already donated to that 1.5, right? You don't have no idea who they are,
Okay.
right? They're very local people,
Okay.
some not.
Right.
Some people already donated $100,000. You don't have no idea who that person is.
Right.
You may be right next to that person. You could be standing by that person and
even
all
know.
that.
Right.
You have no idea.
In my
So what
opinion
I'm
right
sitting
now-
here saying to you, Young
Right.
King,
Right.
is that it is very possible. See, you took a road. What you said is also not fair. Because what you just said was that if we did research and it came back
That he
that
didn't.
Velas did not do it, did not contribute to his hometown, we're doing all of this. But you have never said that if Velas
Did.
had done something
And you-
in his hometown, you're doing all of that. So what I'm trying to say is,
brother, but I have no problem saying that. If Velas is
But-
doing
but-
things anonymously, which he
It's-
like,
it's
the
not that-
likelihood
it's-
is
it's not that
very
you- it's
small.
not that you-
So I would admit if I
all right,
was wrong.
But what I'm trying to say is, I'm talking to what you're
But
presenting.
you just said I didn't say it. I just said it. Now what?
No,
Like,
no,
what
no,
are we-
no,
what are we
no,
talking
no,
about
no,
now?
no. What I'm saying to you
Go ahead.
is that I'm talking to you and what you're presenting to us.
All right, well, I just presented
so
that now.
what you presented first, and there's
Yes.
been a lot of firsts.
Okay.
You have presented to us
Yeah.
a lot of things that benefit where you stand. So when you said to me
Right.
that if we did research and we found out that Velas did not
Right.
do anything for his community, that I'm doing all of this. But you didn't add on in the same time when you said that, you did not add on that we find out Velas did a lot for his community.
Then I wouldn't-
You're doing
I
it.
wouldn't
You
be-
made it about
Right.
our
Okay.
stance.
Thank you. I get that you pointed that out.
Okay.
Now
I just-
I'm
all
saying
right.
if you guys found things that he did in the past 10 years that nobody has said anything of like what I would admit to be wrong. But again, that's I don't know.
But is it okay that you're wrong?
Huh?
Is it okay that you may be wrong?
Duh.
No, what does mean? I don't know that language.
There's no way you don't know what
I
duh
don't-
means.
I don't
yes,
know that
yes.
language.
No, Tyrone, you're right. Yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
obviously, if I'm saying I'm
Right.
admitting, if that were to be the case, I would be wrong. But like y'all are painting fairy tales and imaginary friends right now.
How? There's no-
because
No,
y'all
we're not,
saying
bro.
y'all saying
Yo,
y'all don't know
Jelani,
what he's
Jelani,
donating.
Jelani,
Y'all don't know what he's done.
Jelani,
How do you
Jelani,
know this?
Jelani,
Da, 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 da.
Jelani,
It's
not
like,
fair-
y'all not talking
Jelani,
about facts
Jelani,
right
You
now.
should
Jelani,
talk to
go
this,
ahead.
bro. You from the town, bro.
Y'all not talking about solid facts right now.
Jelani, there's
What?
there's no fairy tale being painted here.
No, okay.
What we're saying is,
Y'all might as well say you
Bro.
don't know if he got a doctorate or not. Like
Jelani,
who's like
Jelani,
that's like a
let
fact.
me, Johnny, let me finish my point.
Oh my God.
Yo,
All right, y'all got it.
No, let me finish my point.
Go
Let
ahead,
me
please,
finish my
please,
point.
please.
Yo, King, that's a fact.
What I'm saying,
I don't know if he got a doctor,
Yo, what I'm
bro.
saying is this, bro. What I'm saying is
This was
this.
crazy.
It's not a fantasy that we're saying that we do not know. No one knows whether he is or he isn't.
You out?
Right?
Mine? Okay.
Nobody knows that. That is a fact.
Really?
That's really the only fact that we have right here, right? That nobody knows
That's a fact.
whether he is or he isn't.
And that's across the board
Right?
right here.
The second thing, the
So why did
second
you
point.
why did you negate it when I said that about Donald Trump doing things for black people?
How did I negate? I'm the one.
You
I'm
said-
the one.
You said that
I'm
you
the
didn't
one
want
who
to. You
brought
said
it
you
up.
didn't want to go there.
No. Listen. First of all, that conversation didn't happen. I was saying that.
No,
he
I
didn't.
said.
No, he didn't negate
I
it.
said people. It could be that he is a racist. It could be that he isn't a racist. That's what the point that I posed. It's okay. You got the tape. You can run it back. But listen, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying as far as Velas is concerned, I don't know the man. I don't know the man. I don't know what he got in his bank account. I don't know what he's done in the past before he made it. And I don't know what he's done since he's made it. I don't know. You don't know. So what I'm saying is that
Nobody knows.
Nobody
Why
knows.
does
And
it
guess
matter?
what? And it doesn't matter. That's the point that I'm
I'm
making.
so surprised at you,
That's
bro.
the-
I'm
why?
honestly surprised
Why are you
at
surprised?
Because as someone who is a big community person, to say that it doesn't matter
No, it's my
is
cho-
wild.
Listen.
To me, I'm just surprised.
Let me,
That's my opinion- in my opinion.
explain. Let me explain something to
Go
you.
ahead, go, please.
Every man has his own path.
Okay, that's true.
Every man has his own path. It's not your job to dictate what another man
I'm
does,
not
bro.
dictating, man.
But listen,
But I am good. I do have
But
a
you
voice,
have
though.
to. You have a voice, and I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that if this man is not hurting nobody, if he's served his time in his community, and he's not hurt. Listen, let me explain something to you. Let me explain something to you.
What is hurting people have to do with that? I know, like that's like
Bro,
obviously.
you listen to respond, bro. You not listening to listen. Listen to
Bro,
what I'm
you
saying.
talk for 5 minutes. I'm gonna cut you off at some point.
I just started talking.
All right, go ahead.
I just started talking.
But I've listened to you for 5 minutes at times.
Tyrone was just talking, and I just started
before
talking.
that, who was talking then? Marnique.
So you want me to stop?
No, I'm just saying, if you talk for a long winter time, at some point someone's gonna interject. That's all. That's how conversation works.
I hear
But
you.
Go ahead.
So let me.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Listen, what I'm saying is this. This man was in the community his entire. He was born in this community, right? Right. He's from this community, right? Okay. We don't know what he's done when he was in the community at that time. We don't know what he's done since then. Is what I'm saying. He deserves that grace. He deserves that grace to say, yo, listen, he made it out the community. We don't know whether he's giving back monetarily. We don't know if he's mentoring. We don't know what he's doing. But I don't think it's in our right to paint a picture of this man wrong, right, or indifferent that's not fair to him. Because he's not speaking for himself.
You gotta let him finish. You gotta let him finish talking.
I cut my brother off.
I'm just saying. He just cut me off for the same thing. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
All right, man.
He go through it with me too.
All right.
But
I'm
just sitting here saying that will we be having, if Velas wasn't Velas, will we be having this conversation? Because there's a lot of individuals that's right here, right now in this community, that's born and raised in this community, ain't doing nothing.
Bro,
But we're not having a conversation about them.
I think that conversation needs to be had too, though. That's what I'm saying. Everyone should be held accountable.
But we're still stuck on this one.
Go ahead,
Well,
V.
he just
Go ahead,
opened
E.
up the conversation to more people. So what do you mean? We're
Go
not
ahead,
stuck
E.
on it if he just opened it up. I just said I think that should be a converation too, Evan.
I hear what you're
So what
saying.
are we talking about?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead. He is born and raised here, man.
I really wasn't.
Well,
But I
I'm
did
just
grow up-
saying, you
but I
like
really-
born and raised here more than we are.
I grew up here.
You grew up here.
I've been here since a little kid.
How old?
I was 10.
Oh, okay.
I was 10.
All right, not too bad.
But
Where'd you come from before, Evan? If you don't mind me asking. Did you come from PK? Where'd you come from before?
I was born in New York.
PK's New York. Where's Poughkeepsie?
I was born in the Bronx.
Okay, Bronx. Okay, that's what I was asking.
All these X's around here, man.
But the
I'm
point
discriminating.
But the point is, like,
HW, Harlem
All right.
World, we all day. Nah,
so look, you were feeling, based on your response, Jelani, when Martin was saying that how like we don't know what Velas has done, if anything. We were painting these hypotheticals and looked as if you might have felt the way. Now, if these things are true, cool, fine, whoop-de-doo. But if he didn't do any of these things,
Even if he did.
that's gonna validate what your point you're trying to make.
Oh, I'm sorry, my fault.
My issue is like, why does it matter? That man, we don't know what the town has done to this man, if anything. We don't know what he had to overcome to get where he's at right now. We don't know what he, you know what I'm saying? We don't know. All these things are uncertainties.
Can I tell you why it matters?
Tell me why.
In
it
my
matters.
opinion, can I tell you
Yeah, I
why
do
it
want to
matters?
hear that. Go ahead, bro.
Beautiful.
I do want to hear
Because
that.
I agreed with my brother Martin a minute ago. No, I agreed with him a minute ago. He might have missed it. He might have missed it. I agree with him.
Let's get to the point, though.
Yeah. He said representation is important.
Right.
So if I make it out the city, if Martin makes it out the city, if Tyrone makes it out of the city, Evan makes it out of the city, we all say, just stay with me. If we all say fuck the city, we don't acknowledge it, or we're in interviews and we don't want to say where we're from, different things of that nature, like, no, like, you know what I mean? That we're not giving back to the city. If everyone hates or talks shit about Kingston, and we're the only examples that make it out, and we say fuck Kingston, essentially, how does the community ever get better? And then we're not holding people accountable. We say they don't have to do anything for Kingston. So y'all hate Kingston, y'all shit on Kingston.
Kingston has to do something for Kingston. People don't have to do
But
that.
again, guess what? That's representation, Martin.
Right.
So then again, bro, you cannot miss this point. If someone is a star, if someone blows up,
Yes.
and from their hometown community, they're not too good to give and uplift their community, that as representation, like, oh
Who
shit.
said he's too good though?
Stay with me, Evan, because this is like,
No,
I'm doing 1 + 1 + 1 = 3.
I want to, please let him, I want to hear this. Please.
If someone
I wanna hear
blows
this.
up, yes, because this is where it matters. It doesn't matter if he's a millionaire, just as far as success. Because again, Tay Fisher's not a millionaire. Who cares? Who cares if he is or he isn't? Because you don't have to be a millionaire to give back to your community. But it is the representation, and of the success level, like, damn, Tay Fisher was a Harlem Globetrotter. Damn, he went to Siena. Damn, he does camps and leagues and AAUs all over New York and whatnot.
Right.
And he still gives back to the community. That means, like, shit, he's a good person. Let me do the same thing. Or he's using Vel as the example, or just somebody else, because clearly, just use somebody else. Use Vel as an example.
Use Velas.
If you do the same thing, you come up successful, and you essentially say fuck the town, you don't acknowledge it, you don't uplift it, whatever.
Why you say essentially say fuck the town? What does that mean? What does that mean?
Turning your back on the town.
Turning your back? How do you?
Again,
you
by
know
not acknowledging.
So I think that's the issue. The issue why people may be having a problem with the way you're painting a picture is because the words that you're choosing to use, right? So you're saying fuck the town, turning your back on the town.
Clown.
Those are very like. Those are very incriminating.
How would you reword that? What word should I use instead of that?
I don't even know. I'm just.
How are you going to say that with bad words? I'm not saying that you don't know.
Because
I can answer that.
I don't want to.
You can answer that.
Answer that, please. I'm asking you a question.
He just listed how
I don't want to answer it because
with
what happened is what I'm saying is this. This is what I would have done, right? If you would have asked the community about Velas, I would have just asked them. I would have asked them straight up, because what Martin is saying is that, and Evan just said it too. Let me talk about the acts you just did first. What you put out there is is Velas a clown, or is he whatever else you said?
Hometown hero.
Understand, those words have meanings, triggering meanings behind it. And then when you already saying that he ain't, like Martin just said, fuck Kingston, all the stuff you're saying, you added that already onto the acts.
Which you're painting as a fact.
What you already painted
And it's not a
that
fact.
to your audience. So had you said, hey, community, how do you feel? Do you feel Velas has contributed to his community, or has he not contributed to his community? How do you feel about that?
Right. Okay.
You see how clean that is?
Right.
That's clean.
Okay.
And I'm not giving nobody any type of bad or good on it. It's a straight, clean answer.
Right.
It's a question. Question.
Right.
How do y'all feel? Do y'all feel he contributed? Do y'all feel that he didn't?
Okay.
And then I think even in that, you may have somebody who knows something about Velas and what he have been doing.
That we willing to
probably
share.
probably had shared that. But you never allowed it to get to that point because your wording had already started something that was already off scale.
And
Here's
negativity
why I'm
should have
okay
added
with,
to
here's
it.
why I'm okay with that, though, is because the way I worded it is the same way I would have worded it if I was talking about anybody I was talking about on the podcast.
No. It doesn't
So it's
matter.
like,
If you was talking about a dog, and you worded it that way, it's still
so why wasn't it
giving you the same energy, right?
Question, why wasn't it triggering when I asked you if you were a king or a bum?
It was personal. It was a personal perception question.
Right.
At the end of the day,
We here. You asking us.
You're
About
saying- 'cause
ourselves.
You said if
Velas is not here. You're not asking Velas that.
But you said like
to Velas.
essentially
So
turn his back.
we're
against
right
him.
here.
You know what
So
I'm
if I
saying?
post on
Like-
Facebook, that makes it different? Like if I post it to the community or the public or whatever, I ask somebody, if I ask
When you
Tamika,
post
if I ask
something-
Tamika is Marnika king or a bum, she's gonna
So
be
let
like,
me- so let me
she's
tell
a
you-
king.
when you
Let me
post
know.
something on your
Yeah.
personal
And
social
Evan-
media,
Yeah.
you're taking a stance on something. You're taking a standpoint.
Yeah.
And it
I'm
happens to be
messing
negative.
with you, bro.
No, you good.
So let me tell you this thing that Evan just before we got on the podcast,
Right.
what we laughed about, right? So it's a thing that we have amongst us that Evans, I call him, he's the king on this one with me, right? Evans, you know what I'm saying?
The king.
No, about me and what
Oh.
am I?
Oh yeah.
I'm heated. I'm angry.
Angry,
I'm
yeah.
angry. So Evan always say I'm angry, right?
Okay.
Right. This is what he say, right? Now, because I have learned his angle on calling me angry, right? I have understood what he's saying about it now that I'm not offended about it, right? But here's the thing. I also had the opportunity to explain to Evan that it's not anger you're seeing, it's passion.
Okay.
Right? To bring him more understanding that my passion makes it could easily be looked upon as being angry.
Being aggressive.
Because his passion takes him into raising his voice or
Right.
getting a higher pitch or speaking more in an aggressive manner, but he's not coming
Right.
off that way. He's not intending to.
Right.
but he's still expressing those things passionately.
Can you I get like obviously get what y'all saying, but can you bring it back? Like, I know it correlates to what we're saying. I just don't know which part.
Okay, it does correlate to it. So what I'm saying is that had I not understood or had the opportunity when Evan first said it, me and Evan was kind of going back and forth at it. I was upset with him in a way based on how he said it, right? But when I got to understand what he was saying, and I got to understand and explain myself, to this day, he still called me angry. But I don't have the feeling no more about when he said it.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that you freshly put that out there, first time people seeing that, hearing that. There's no setup for or
There's no premise for it.
Right. There's no pre anything to it. It just was like bang. So when it's like that, you're gonna get the full flesh of people's reaction because it's a bang on them. So now when you did that, you have now offended people who feel connected to Velas, right? Who may be a fan of Velas. Right. All that stuff you have now put into this one bowl of a thing. Right. Which is why it explains to you why you're getting so many reactions and different reactions. As you know, you got some people who's understanding what you're saying, as I told you. Right. I understand where you was coming from. I do. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But could you have done it and put it out there in a different way to make it more easier for people to give you a response to your question? Yeah. 100%. Right. I think how you put it out there has now triggered the 200 and something comments that you have on your thing. Right. And the negative of it and also the positive of it. So it's not to me, it's not a beatdown for you. I think this is great for you because now you can learn from it and then you're gonna craft your stuff to be better. That's how I see it. Right? That's how I see it. It's the same thing I'm saying to the reason why I said to me and everything because I had to learn. Right. And I had the opportunity to now say, Evan, what that's about? Evan telling me about. But Evan, listen, I'm not mad, bro. I'm not mad. This is my passion, bro. I'm sorry you feel that way, but that's my passion, bro.
But so now he gets me. Conversation.
So now he gets me.
We actually had that conversation and was able to build off of that. Right. But I think that you guys, a lot of the negativity that you did receive is because he wasn't there to really have that conversation with you and to really either defend himself or more so validate the point that you were trying to make. So it's just having that conversation with the person, giving them the chance to defend themselves or just tell the truth for that.
So
matter.
You're not wrong. So what I'm trying to say to you, bro,
you're
not wrong in the question. You're wrong in the delivery. Right. If that makes sense.
Right. Well, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. So why is it that it's wrong in this delivery when it's about quote unquote, let's say like it's about Vel, but if it was about Drake or Kendrick Lamar,
it's wrong on anybody.
People pose these questions every day.
But doesn't make it right. Doesn't make it right though.
We're not saying it's just wrong because it's you.
So let's.
We're not saying that's what I'm saying. We're not saying you. We're not saying you're wrong.
In hip hop, when J. Cole said that he was sorry to Kendrick Lamar or whatever, and everyone was like saying he's whack for that, he's this, that, and third. Like that's wrong of people, or is it just like I feel like we're giving it's a special treatment thing because it's local.
You can't control. If you listen, I always tell people this. If you put yourself on the platform, you put yourself out there, you have put yourself out there to get praise, attack, and everything that comes with it. So it's kind of what Martin was saying to you a little bit earlier, right? And that's also what I was saying to you about your individual self. There's arguments that you don't need to respond to, and there's some arguments that you probably need to respond to. Gotcha. Right? And that's why I was saying that. So if I know for a fact, and this is where I stand today. Remember, I told you, I put it out there. They called me a homophobe, anti-Semitic, Asian hate, womanizer. I'm talking about our county government did that, right? I can literally go ape shit on that. Did I? No. Because there's a thing. See, what I understand is this. Tyrone Wilson, I control that. Whether I lay somebody down or whether I stand somebody up, I control it. You understand what I'm saying? They don't make me. I had a whole life before Kingston, New York. I had a whole upbringing before county government. I came from a place way before this. everything, my ingredients that made me didn't come from here. It came from my home. And I took everything that I learned in my life experience and I presented it to where I now reside. I'm sharing my knowledge, my understanding, my experience. I'm not recreating the wheel. I'm just sharing everything that I've been through. Now, when they want to take that for a political agenda, bro, I don't care. Listen, I don't care who believes them and who don't believe them, is what I'm saying.
Right.
I understand who I am.
Right.
I know who I am.
Right.
And that's where I stand on.
Right.
So what I'm telling you, bro, is that stand on what you're saying, but be okay and open to say, hey, okay, now I understand that I was asking a good question, but I could have delivered that a little differently so you could get a better response of understanding of your question that you're asking. Right. Because somebody may have said, like I said to you earlier, hey, what do y'all think about Dollaz? Do y'all think Dollaz contribute to his community? Do y'all think he didn't? Right? That leaves it open. It's a calm. You already set the calm. You already set the level.
Gotcha.
And now I could be like, oh, Jelani, Dollaz just, sent the Pine Street African Burial Ground $50,000. He's helped us.
Okay.
Somebody can give you that.
Right.
But the way it was delivered, the way it was put out, the clown or not,
Right.
it set a tone.
Right.
And people responded to it.
Right.
So I just want you to say, King, that, I want you to understand that part.
Right.
I don't want you to be offended that
No, I'm not offended. I don't take it personal. Different people were calling me, yo, like, don't take this personal, blah blah. Like, because again, like, this is what's funny, and it's unfortunately the conversation didn't go how I thought it would go, but it's fine.
Right.
I posted that 5-minute clip. It wasn't even a topic. Today it was a topic.
Right.
It was Sims brought him up. It was random. We talked about him for 5 minutes, blah blah. But then I posted an hour-long interview, same platform, Facebook, same question, not same question, a question, breakdown, positively. Nowhere near the same amount of people that had so much to say about something that could be perceived negatively, because again, didn't call him clown.
You're right, but let me say this too.
Negativity spreads
while we
faster than
on this
positivity.
podcast, I'm gonna talk directly to the bro Joe Sims. Sims. Because even with Sims,
Shout
man,
out Sims.
Shout out to Sims, bro. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to you. Because
he's working.
This is the thing. Sims is working, man.
He is.
And the fact that he had to even Sims had to get out there and be like, yo, I don't even know half of y'all, and y'all throwing shots at me and blah 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 blah. Like, he had to put a post up.
But why don't you?
Right.
This is my thing. Why are we not speaking to that being the problem?
Listen, what
like,
I'm
we're
saying.
Speaking to the post being the problem.
We could speak to that, but like I said,
feel like we should.
Wait, hold
But
on,
I
because
could be wrong.
I don't want to cut off the respect to Sims right now.
Okay, go ahead.
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay, I didn't know you would get. Okay, go ahead.
I just said, hold up, shout out to Sims.
Do you think?
Listen, what I'm sitting here saying, and I'm gonna send this message. I want to send this message to Sims too, if he's gonna watch this or if he's watching this.
Right.
My brother, Sims ain't did nothing wrong, said nothing wrong. He was giving mad love to Dollaz. He was shouting. He was giving love.
Right.
The fact that you have to go into explain because somebody is going to say something to you and all that other stuff. We have to be careful of embracing other people's negative energy, bro. We have to be careful of that. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I see an elderly lady walking across a major highway and I stop traffic to help this elderly lady get past, and I got people in the cars yelling at me, "Fuck you! Get out the street!" and blah 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 blah. What you think I'm doing?
Going about your day.
I'm getting this lady across this major highway
My fault.
safely. I ain't worrying about y'all.
Right.
Y'all gonna wait.
Right.
We always have decision making in anything we do. You make a choice to engage or not engage. Be careful of what you're engaging in. Be careful what you choose to engage in.
Right.
Sims, as I was saying, the brother man didn't give nothing. He gave Dollaz nothing but props.
Right.
Mad respect.
Right. Of course.
So anybody that was sending some, I don't even know what he was talking about, but it was enough for him to put the post up.
Right.
So for anybody to be
This
sending
guy.
those, for anybody to be sending those attacks,
Yeah.
Bezo, for anybody to be sending those attacks, right?
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with Sims.
Exactly.
And that's what I want him to know.
Right.
It has nothing to do with you. That's personal.
Right.
And you have to analyze. You have to be able to analyze that.
Right.
Right. So for my situation, people don't even know my situation. They heard about it. They make decisions. They making choices. They saying things. It's not about me.
Yeah.
It's about them.
Right.
I'm choosing. Like I remember I said to you earlier. If somebody got a problem with me, you want to holler at me. I'm holler at me. I will sit down with you. I will chop it up with you. I will try to ease whatever it is that's bothering you. I will make it my duty to try to ease that.
Right.
Right? But if you come in to violate, we gonna violate. I'm outside.
Right. I get it.
I said that, right?
Right.
So it's the same thing. I'm not gonna chase nobody who doesn't come to me and say anything about what I've done and have a problem with me. I'm not chasing that.
Right.
If you feel that way, go ahead, feel that way.
Right.
I'm here. And I'm saying that the same to you, King, is that this here is a perfect learning tool for you, right? Because you want your podcast to go. I know you're not just doing it just to do it.
Right.
I hope you want to do it because you want to get somewhere with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's a learning process in it when you was rapping.
Right.
Right?
Right.
You probably look at some old raps when you first started, like, what? How the hell I did that? Jay-Z does that, right? He goes like that thing I was doing all that fast rapping. It's a learning process.
Yeah.
You look back, you get it better, you get better, you get better, you get better, you
Right.
get better. But embrace the learning process as you moving forward,
Right.
because that's what's going to make you powerful. It's going to make you strong.
Right.
It's going to make the engagement
Right.
to be more engagement.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you got to do negative stuff to get negative engagement, that's what you know what I'm saying? That's what you're going to get.
Posing a question that could be perceived as negative, not just doing because I wasn't out here threatening Val or insulting Val.
But that's what I'm saying to you, bro.
But it's fine. I'm just
I'm telling you
Martin, I've been looking
personally.
at you through my peripheral. I don't want you to not talk, bro. I don't like.
No, I'm telling you
I want you to be
personally.
part of the
No,
conversation
you
too, guys. I know you're just saying that
ain't
now.
never stop
I want you to
You ain't gonna
be here
never
though.
stop him from talking.
You're fading into the
that ain't
background. I
happening.
want you to be here with us.
No,
right?
that ain't happening. You ain't gonna never stop him
Right,
from
right,
talking.
right.
bro.
Nah, I'm chilling.
I'm just trying
I'm
to make it
listening
clear
to what
to you,
he- yeah,
bro.
I'm
Like, 'cause
listening.
you keep saying the same thing, so to me, it's not clear. I am telling you, bro, we're not crucifying you.
I know you're
about
not.
What
I
you
know you're
said.
not.
What I'm saying is that you could have done it better. You could have
Right.
put it out better so you could get better responses. Like you could get, I think somebody out there knows something about Velas. Like really knows something about Velas. Velas is not a ghost. Somebody knows something about Velas and what he's doing and all that other stuff. But I'm thinking, even if that was a possibility, the way it was delivered, you could have missed that. Is what I'm saying.
Because you gave an either or situation,
Right, right.
as opposed to making it an open forum to let people, really, really put effort into what it is that we think it could be either way.
Right.
So you just got to make that available.
Right. I don't want to drag this out any longer.
Oh no, we good. We
I don't
good.
wanna
We
be
good,
that
bro.
voice at all.
This is
a
good. You
good
wanted to have
It's
a
a good
conversation.
conversation. I'm not mad at it.
Remember, none of us was on it.
Because
So-
what you said, what you've been saying like repeatedly, Kai, why don't you understand that I obviously hear what you're saying, is that you say that I can do this. This should be a learning experience. I can do this better in a future day or whatever. But who's to say? Not even who's to say, but who's to say?
No, go ahead. Say, because that's what you mean. Say what you mean.
Because again, I have an example to prove what I'm saying.
Right.
Who's to say that this was done poorly? Because again, it posed a question.
Okay.
I used hometown hero circus clown.
I think-
those are polar opposites. The engagement was through the roof and whatnot. Yes, they had negative responses, but again, coming from a pure intention standpoint, I was faced with backlash, but no facts. No facts of this, that, and the third. No, nothing answering the question. Nothing.
Okay,
it was
but-
more so
but
you're a hater.
I wanna
You're
go
this.
over that for a second.
It was just negative.
question?
But let me give you my example on top of what I'm saying that proves my example. That's like saying the Cat Williams interview was done poorly because he should have answered differently or he shouldn't have been negative in his answers because like but
we
that
don't know
gave
the
that
kind
gave
of
that
feedback.
podcast that made that podcast go through the roof.
So that's what you. So now
But that's not what I'm chasing.
So okay then. So you just asked the question.
Well, go
You
ahead.
said who's to say that it was done poorly?
Okay.
Right.
Let me
That's
get-
the
let me get
question.
this.
Yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you. Go ahead.
Now look, to go off from we take some facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pop said something earlier to me. He said, Ev, you were born and raised here, right? I had to correct him only because I wanted the facts to be straight.
Okay.
Not that I was shitting on Kingston or where I grew up or where I'm not from. Because we're talking about facts.
Right.
But the fact was is that I was not born here.
That's a fact.
Okay? But just because I corrected him
Right, you didn't shit
doesn't
on
mean that I
Kingston.
didn't shit on doesn't mean I'm shitting on Kingston
Okay.
or where I grew up
Do
at.
you want me to give you an equal comparison to that?
Wait,
You know
please
who
do.
you know who didn't do what you just said?
Who?
Who didn't correct? And he doesn't have to because that's been a theme here. But just to speak to your point, you said that someone said something about you, and then you corrected them. You know who didn't correct a damn thing? Do I have, fill in the blank? Do I have to say, it or we got it? We good?
You wanna look
That's
at-
Element Val. So again, doesn't have
But
to.
Did you reach out to him?
Did I reach out to him? No, he didn't reach out to me, but he was tagged all throughout.
hold
he
on, but
knows
he-
what's happening. His right hand man's reached out to me.
Right. But
And we
it's still-
talked in. If we're gonna put it out there, I'm not saying no names, but again, just to speak into the conversation that we're having. And again, nobody has to do anything. But again, that's not even the point. His man's who was talking to me on his phone, his right hand's man's. He like, people could probably draw the lines, read between the lines, and know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
He's talking to me about for like 15, 20 minutes. And the different points that he's trying to point out, he lets out a detail that out of all the success and all the money and all the this, that, and that, the third, that first off, he said that most people in Kingston couldn't even wrap their head around, or they would spiral, blah, blah. But he said that he hasn't seen a dime. And that's okay.
Okay.
He doesn't have to see a dime, even though he's his right hand man, even though he's with him all the time, even though he's promotes his stuff all the time, even though he's like his damn near his mascot. And that's okay because no one has to do anything for anybody. But for me personally and morally, if you're anyone that's my man's or in my circle, if I'm eating, if I'm winning, you're eating and you're winning.
Okay.
So I'm just again.
Did you see the interview with 50 Cent when
Oh,
he said
shit.
about what he said
No.
about his crew?
No,
All right,
I
so
saw
50 Cent said straight up clearly. He said, anybody in my crew, if they ain't working, if they ain't doing this, they ain't getting nothing. I'm not obligated to give them nothing. Right? This is what he said, literally. He said, what's the old boy name?
Buck Banks.
Buck Banks and all them. What's the name? He gave what's the name? $50,000 or something like that, $50,000 or whatever. But I don't have to give him $50,000. I don't have to give him nothing. I started this. This is what I've done. Shxts said it. I'm rich. My kids ain't rich.
Okay.
I'm rich.
Okay.
Just because I'm rich doesn't mean my kids is rich.
Right.
You have to understand because what you're missing is that you're connecting this thing. Like I say this all the time. When people are seen on different TV platforms, right? The rap industry, there are so many, and you got to know this too because you got so many. You got prime example was TLC, multi-million-dollar group, had no money,
They got raped.
had no money,
Pause.
right? Most of the money that people make, so they think these rappers is all these millionaires and all this other stuff just because they see them on TV and all this other stuff, right? But majority of their money comes from tours. When we was going on these tours with Rex and Effects and all that other stuff, you know what we was getting? We was getting free hotels, free food, and chicks. They making the money. We ain't making the money. So what he's saying to you is facts.
Right.
And you don't know. Do you know for a fact that Velas is really banking? Do you know that for a fact?
I didn't say he was.
No, I'm
Oh,
asking
no,
a
I don't
question.
know. I didn't say he was.
See, that's what I'm,
I didn't.
so-
I didn't.
so-
I don't know, and I don't.
Right,
didn't say
right,
he was.
right. So this is what I'm saying
Right.
about.
But again, no. But let's run that back because again, speaking to his man's point, he said that after everything that he's done, all everything that he's seen, all the money that he's made, all the different success that his friend was alluding to, all that he's made, or his right hand man.
All right, but
so-
let me tell you something. I was just sitting here prior to this conversation, right? This podcast.
Okay.
I was talking to my little niece right over there.
Uh-huh.
My little niece said she believed her mother got $1 million in the bank account for her. This is what my niece said, right?
Okay.
So I'm asking my niece, how do you know that? She said, my mother told me this, right? So I said, well, what is rich to you? $1? She said no. She said rich to her is $1,000. So you asking me, so now you might say, well, why am I saying this? People's perception of money levels are very different. Somebody may think I'm rich because I have $100,000. Somebody may think I'm rich because I got $25,000. You don't really know his man perception of money he's talking about.
Okay.
And you don't even know if you sold 14 million copies. What matters is the percentage of what you get off of that 14 million.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Some people was getting 25 cents. Some people was getting 50 cents. Some people was getting $5 off of it. All that matters. So what I'm saying is that if we don't even have, let alone we shouldn't be doing it, but if we don't even have the factual monies of Velas, we don't have the factual, the do's and don't of Velas. We don't have none of this.
Gotcha.
But we're making this assumption of what he's supposed to, of what he should be doing.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're so fine. You can cut me off anytime.
My guy. What's it called? I don't know what the fuck is in Martin's bank account. I don't know what's in your bank account. I don't know what's Evan's bank account.
Right.
I don't know what's in Tay's bank account. I don't know what's in Rob Dassey's bank account. I don't know none of that. But I salute you all as men who uplift your community. That's what I'm saying. When y'all bringing up all these different things, we don't know this. You don't have to. Like you're making. That's why I was saying this. You're painting imaginary pictures, and I mean,
not imaginary.
I knew that was gonna trigger somebody. My fault. See, I was listening to this and imaginary.
No, bro.
That's a trigger word. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? But before that, before the imaginary word, my fault.
Ask you a question. Why are you saluting us?
Because I just said it. I
No,
literally just said it.
say it again. Why?
Again, because you're uplifting your community.
How do you know that?
I see it. I hear it.
What have you seen me do?
Say that again. Wait, chill, bro. You say that again.
I see
Ma,
it,
you know
and
I'm getting that, right?
I hear about
I'm
it.
chilling.
Okay. So how do you said you see us doing what we're doing in the community.
Yeah.
So you have your facts on us.
Right.
You have it.
Right.
What's the difference between us and Velas in the same conversation?
There's no evidence.
Thank you.
That's crazy. That's
Thank
like so.
you.
So you're saying you're giving
Because you can say that to us.
right. Okay.
Because you know us and you
Right.
see what we've done. You've been a part of us.
Right.
And you are a part of us. You have done things with us. You have done things for us. So you know.
Tyrone, I hate that point. That's a terrible point to me, in my opinion. That's like saying a murderer didn't convicted someone of a murder and there's no evidence. Y'all are saying that he's like basically because we don't know, there's no evidence, we haven't seen anything. We don't know if he's uplifting the community. We don't y'all are acting like low key like. No, it's fine.
Jelani, no.
It's fine though.
Listen, whether he is or isn't,
It doesn't matter.
And then on top of that, it doesn't even matter. So y'all are
you saying that.
It doesn't matter because
But what's going on is an expression there.
Nobody owes anybody anything, bro.
That's a fact.
Like at the end of the day,
right. That's a fact too.
like,
You're right.
Like
That's
as
a fact.
all right, let me just go old school.
Go ahead.
As men,
Nah, bro, chill.
chill.
You know what, Jelani?
What the hell?
Nah.
I got
You know what, Jelani?
Hold on. Hey, that's my boy.
You know what, Jelani?
What I missed?
You are.
What I missed?
You know what? I'm about to hit him though,
Yo,
bro.
Martin, don't let him do that. He's cutting you out.
No, let me tell you what you missed,
Everybody
bro.
cuts me off, bro.
No, sorry. No, you know what, Jelani?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna give you your own. I'm gonna give you your own.
You gonna
food.
cut mans off like that? That's
Yes,
your man.
I told you I do that to my
That's
brother all day.
crazy.
Listen what I'm telling you. I'm gonna be quiet, yo, bro. I'm gonna be quiet right now. But I'm gonna give you your own.
Now you being long with it because you've been talking for a minute now.
I'm gonna give you your own medicine right now.
I love medicine.
To me, you are a world acclaimed artist.
Oh man.
Actually, this picture right behind us that y'all seeing, Jelani did. Correct?
Who cares though?
But wait, hold on.
Community don't care. I'm just saying.
You are acclaimed tattoo artist. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
You are an artist in the music, right? Correct?
Sure, yeah.
So you should be giving free tattoos to the community.
Oh my God!
You should be giving some free
You did another new comment.
However, we need some free meals.
What is
We
that?
need some
What is that
meals.
to?
Does it not relate?
What point is that?
All right, I'm gonna be
Because
quiet.
again,
It does
don't
speak
be,
to.
no,
That's
don't be
what I'm
quiet.
saying.
Don't be like Martin. Be quiet.
it
Because
does.
I'm not telling.
I can let people speak. Bro.
Nah, yeah, but like, but I don't want you to be quiet. I want you to
my
shut up.
brother
Yo.
to say that. So you got.
I'm not. That's why. Like, this is why, and that's why it's detrimental. Because again, y'all are saying things that were said in the comments, but it was said.
I didn't see anything that was said in the
I didn't
comments.
really.
I didn't
no,
read
no,
that.
I was talking about one thing,
I'm
bro.
talking about you.
To be honest with
At
you,
this point, that last point, someone said you better get free tattoos or whatever.
Oh, somebody said
That's
that?
not. Yeah, and I'm just
Okay.
like, that's not. First of
Okay.
all, that's not the point. Like, no one's telling. I'm not saying Vel to write free songs for people. That's fucking retarded. That's literally retarded.
I had to say it.
No. That's what I'm saying. That's why this is detrimental because when you're being joking, it's fine to be joking. I don't care. But again, there are real live people who have those real jokey perceptions, and that's the problem. Everything is misconstrued because of people that are speaking from hatred or speaking just to get attention or jokes or whatever the case it be is. That's why I thought this conversation was gonna go in a different direction. And it's okay that it didn't because who cares?
I think it was going in a fair
yeah, it's
direction.
fine. It's fine regardless. But I'm telling you that is detrimental because you're speaking from a place of joking just now. But there are hateful people that or whatever that went to the fire of the community rather than it being a positive light.
I think what just happened is,
Well,
although it's
I'm
joking,
not- but it's real.
what happened is
It's real.
that I think he gave you a little dose of your own medicine.
No, he didn't.
Because, no,
I did.
listen,
I did.
listen,
No, I
listen,
did.
listen, listen,
I really
listen,
did.
listen,
I
listen,
just said it will be.
listen, can I
Yeah,
speak?
go do your thing.
Can I finish the sentence?
I
Gotta
did.
stop flexing on me though.
Because I'm not, no, I just want
Do you think? Go ahead.
What I'm saying
I know
is,
he got it.
What I'm saying is, bro, I know what your intentions are.
Uh-huh.
The reason why I'm saying he just gave you a little dose of your own medicine is because
He didn't
the
though.
person that's asking the question is actually controlling the conversation. The person that asks the question
That's correct.
controls it, right? And can dictate the temperature of the conversation. So you have a social responsibility. If this is what you're gonna do, this conversation is about you having a social responsibility to the people that you want to discuss and talk about.
Correct.
So you're 100% right. There's no facts that we're speaking on, right? We're not speaking on any facts at all. But the reality of the situation is two things are true. We don't know whether he is or he isn't, and he really doesn't have to. Because as I was saying before, going back to old school, men don't watch other men's pockets.
No one's
You
watching.
don't-
That's
you don't- you don't-
another thing. Nobody's watching
but
pockets.
no, but listen, but you.
Oh
but
my
you kinda,
God.
Listen, in this conversation, you
Yeah.
kind of are. because
How? Y'all brought up the millions. I'm not bringing up his pockets. I don't care
If
about
he-
the man's pockets.
if
It
he
all
didn't-
ties together.
It all
does.
ties together.
That's crazy.
Him
It does,
making it. There's a perception that there's a quantifiable amount that he should be
So,
doing
Martin-
or giving.
Martin.
That's
First of all,
what
I
it
said.
sounds
First of all, I
like.
said I saluted y'all without knowing. I just said this without knowing y'all bank accounts because who
No,
cares
listen-
about y'all bank accounts?
Bro, listen
Because
what
again,
I'm
I'm not
saying.
watching nobody's pockets. And again, if I bring up Tay Fisher right now, I'm not watching. Is it watching his pockets by saying that bigging up Tay Fisher because he gives back to the community?
It's
is that watching his pockets?
What I'm saying is that you're not listening to me.
You're not answering my question,
You're
bro.
listening, but you're listening to respond, bro. That's why I've been quiet, bro, because I don't want to go back and forth. Listen, what I'm saying is this. I'm not saying that that's your intention.
Okay.
I'm not saying your intention is to watch the man's pockets.
Okay.
You are in journalism now, or right? Is this what you consider a part of journalism?
Yeah,
Right?
I
Okay.
didn't go to school for
So-
journalism. Just a podcast.
no problem. It's a podcast, but you
but-
you were part of the media. You the
fine.
new media,
That's fine.
right?
I'll take that. I'll take
Okay.
that. Okay.
So what I'm saying is that you have a social responsibility. You have a responsibility that when you're putting out content about people, you have a responsibility on how you dictate how that conversation goes based on how you ask the question. Now, if your intention was to make that shit go viral and get all the comments that you get, yo, bravo, you did it. You feel what I'm saying? But you can't get mad when everything starts leaning in the direction based on the question that you ask. That's all I'm saying.
It goes back to being self-aware. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're aware of your own position on this.
Yeah, you good, bro. Yo,
I
listen,
know,
let's go to
I
the
know.
next question. Next question.
I like
sir.
this.
Next question.
I like
sir.
this.
Next question.
I like this.
Super
Next
important,
question.
man.
Next question. He's never inviting us ever again. So
No, it's not. Why? Why though?
I'm just letting y'all know.
I like
this is it.
And honestly, what's crazy is I don't think this if this was not talked about and it's to me it's low key disappointing, but it's okay.
Well, why though?
Low key.
No.
Why?
Because this could have been a perfect example.
to validate you.
No,
Wait, yes.
are you listening
No,
to this?
I
I'm
feel the
listening to
same way,
response, Martin.
I feel the same way though.
Look at we talking about. See, that's what I'm talking
because
about.
I gotta hear you. I want to hear you because I feel the same way.
You just said.
I feel
That
like
was crazy.
Yo,
I feel like
we
you
gave
think-
you incredible content,
that's a fact.
and you said you're disappointed, bro.
That's a fact.
The only way you could be disappointed is because
Okay, Martin, listen. And right now you're being a hypocrite.
How?
And you want me to tell you how? And if you're
Tell
really
me.
listening, you'll hear it.
I'm listening.
Because I didn't even get the point out, and you responded, and you told me just now. And you a minute ago you were saying, you don't listen to listen, you listen to respond. You just did that. That makes you a hypocrite, or does it not?
No, it doesn't. But go ahead. Just
How does it not?
Yo,
You're basic.
just explain what you're explaining. So explain what you're saying. Go ahead.
The thing, the part of it that made is disappointing, not because you're not validating me. I don't give a fuck if you're validating me. Martin, what's wrong with you?
But gotta explain that to
So
us.
why-
though.
so why
is
are
it
you
low key?
disappointed?
Because I'm
I wanna hear that.
disappointed. As elders and as people, I salute as people who bring up the community. I thought you were going to speak to the importance of bringing up the community. Any other time this is a conversation,
But we did.
We did.
You what?
And
We
you
did.
are the leader of this podcast.
We
so
did.
we
It just
answered
didn't
all
sound
your
the way you.
questions.
It didn't sound the way you
This is-
wanted it
what?
to
These
sound.
are the directions
This
that
whole
you
time
lead us.
y'all both been saying he does not have to uplift his community. So how have y'all been speaking to the point of the importance of uplifting the
I stand
community?
on that. I stand on
Yo,
that.
listen.
I stand on that.
Listen.
I stand on that.
We said. We said. We do not know what he has done.
Okay.
We also said, by him being a representation of getting out of the community,
Right.
he's done his service. We also said he also doesn't owe nobody anything.
Right.
So please tell me where in that you're not processing that we're saying that uplifting the community is important. How, in what part did you not hear that? Where?
Because the only part that you said that he spoke to that point at all is by saying that because he made it out the community, he gave back to the community. That in that of itself.
But I also said
saying that he doesn't have to.
But the first point that I said, I said, is that we do not know in what capacity he has given back. Guaranteed, because he's made it out of it, he has already fulfilled his duty.
Okay.
Third, he don't have to do shit. He has a choice. He can. That's his choice.
Question. Is it okay if I ask you a question, Martin?
You've been asking questions all day.
So it's cool then.
Go ahead.
So if I ask you, how does saying he does not have to do shit for the community speak to the importance of giving back to the community?
That's
You're
not-
saying, you're saying
I didn't
first,
say
second,
it.
and
I
third.
didn't
You're
say
saying
it.
first.
but-
You said first, second, and third. Like you're saying three different reasons.
here we
The
go
only
again,
thing that you're saying is
here we
giving
go
back to the
again.
community
You ain't
is that he
listening.
made it.
We gotta go back to your delivery now.
You ain't
Because
listening.
you didn't ask us that question.
Hey man, I
You
thought I'm
didn't-
listening.
you
I'm
didn't-
literally
no,
I'm
no,
screwing your words.
bro.
Come on, we gotta leave that alone.
Wait, and you can go back to
yeah,
this.
listen,
You didn't ask us. See, this is what I'm talking about again.
Talk about
It's
it.
gonna go back to your delivery. You didn't ask us. See,
Talk about
the
it.
Velas thing is you brought the Velas. That was part of your script. You brought that to us, right?
Right.
So we answering to the Velas situation that you brought up to us. Correct. You agree to that?
Sure.
Because we wasn't a part of the Velas thing. We wasn't a part of it.
Where are you going with this, Tyrone?
Because
See, he ain't listening.
I'm listening and I'm wondering where he's going with it. Like, what do you mean?
Because if you let the man talk,
I'm literally letting him talk, which is why I'm asking where he's going. Because I'm listening to him talk and he's reviewing the fact that I brought it up. Y'all wasn't a part of it. We know all these facts.
Okay, let me tell you where I'm going. You said that you low key disappointed.
Move on, son.
Yo, you just said that you low key disappointed.
Go to the next
because
one.
No, let him run. Let the man talk.
You just said you low key disappointed because we didn't talk about community and uplifting the community, correct?
The importance of it, yes.
Right, that's what you said.
That's in my
Yeah. Martin said to you that we have. I'm saying to you that we have. Evan, are you saying to him that we have?
I stopped talking a long
Okay.
time ago.
So,
Perfect.
so in that point, what I'm saying is that majority of what we answered was what you asked. was the questions that you asked.
No, you don't think
The
so?
whole reason why we even on this whole Velas thing is because you brung it up in the topic, right?
Tyrone, that's known. Like obviously,
No.
Like, what do you mean? Like you're saying that again?
You listen, bro. You listen. You asking me to explain to you, and I'm explaining to you. It's this right now. This is yes or no.
I really said yes to this.
Okay, so the Velas conversation is happening because you brought up the Velas conversation.
Yeah.
You asked us. You did not really sit here and say to us, and now I'm gonna go to delivery again. Now, right? You didn't say to none of us. What does contributing to your community looks like? You never said that.
That's pretty profound.
You never said it.
Yo,
Now,
I ain't gonna mess with you, man. I ain't gonna mess with you. Hey, man, I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna let y'all finish. I'm gonna let y'all finish. I don't want to say anything crazy. I don't think it was anything profound either. But we're gonna let y'all finish. Who's next? Evan, you next?
No, I'm not building them up.
Evan, you next? Evan, you next? Go ahead. Or Tyrone, you done? I just want to know if Evan's up or
Next
not.
subject, son. Yo,
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, we good.
Next
No,
subject.
we
I'm
not.
just saying you never asked that question. I never heard it.
That's fine.
I
didn't know I had to ask a question for points to be made. Like
you
what?
you are the. This is your show.
You are the host.
You are
No,
the
I
host.
didn't. But you
So
can pose a question and the idea come up, the topic come up without asking directly. What does that look like? So
I'm
it's
not
like,
gonna dance
again,
I'm just gonna ask.
And you said that shit was profound. That's true. Like no, it wasn't.
No, yes, it was.
no.
Yes, it
All
was.
right, Evan, you next, right?
That was a
I'm not
profound
gonna dance
question.
around stuff. I'm just gonna ask a question. So
Don't
both
dance.
both of these gentlemen, right?
Yep.
They both have done for their community. They both have organizations or part of organizations that do things for the community, right?
Yes, sir.
Now me, what have I done for the community? What have you seen me do for the community?
What have I seen you do for the community? Do you do things for the community?
I'm asking you. You tell me.
I mean,
'Cause in the
as far-
beginning you
as
said
far,
that I
as
did.
far as your job, first of all, also when I gave you your flowers in the beginning, I said that you was a big brother to me, type shit. So it's like, and I'm sure that you're not like, and that let as me. I don't know how to put that word. What I want to say about that.
yourself.
It's about
Go ahead.
verbiage.
No. I just didn't. There was an expression I wanted to say, but I couldn't
That's
get
the
it.
point. Let him,
But it's fine.
let him
To me, I was speaking of what your worth is to me, your values, and I was giving you your flowers and that right. Are you a big part of the community? I don't know. Maybe are you?
Yes, he is.
Okay, and if so, I would say if I had to say so, then I would say buy your security work. And if you do more than that,
Okay. So that's it.
do you want to bring something to the table?
No, I'm asking you from all the facts that you've got to obtain over the years, from just our interactions, things that you've known about me. What have you known of me to do for the community?
As far as
besides
me, if
that?
we're speaking to security work, that is something big for the community because you prevent problems, you prevent shit from going down, or you minimize it to the best of your ability, things of that nature. So does that answer your question? Is that good enough, or what?
Okay,
where we
that
going
does
next?
help answer the question.
Beautiful.
But I've done those things, and I've also gotten compensation for those things. There's some things I haven't gotten compensation for,
Okay.
but I have gotten compensation a lot of times. Does that make it any less contributive to the community?
No, it doesn't. In my opinion, some people feel like it does, but I don't. Like, because why would you be a security guard for free? That doesn't make any sense. Let me ask you this question, Marnie, before we go off, before we get the hell out of here. Is a nonprofit that pays their workers a scam?
That pays their workers a scam?
I'm not touching this one.
No.
Okay, I'm not. This is not my question. This is one of the things that was said by the people, and I was like, "Wow, this is the thought process of people that are commenting," and it's like, y'all clearly are in like a crazy ass thought process or
You know what?
mentality.
But listen. Again, we gotta have compassion.
That goes to the same.
People don't. If people don't understand how something works, they're gonna say things that's off the wall because they don't understand how it works.
They don't understand.
So a person that's asking that question, I don't look at it as you being crazy because that's a very good question. You know what I'm saying? So people don't understand that, and asking that question is very important because
It wasn't even a question. I'm sorry.
then
It was a statement though.
a statement. So it's very important that discussion happens because then they'll probably understand what it takes to actually run a nonprofit, how hard it is.
Well, explain to
and
how you got into the nonprofit and how it worked for y'all.
Right. So, okay. So I got into the nonprofit world because of Tyrone.
Okay.
Right? Just right off the bat. You understand what I'm saying? We were given to the community up in Saugerties. I was given before me and my wife even got together. I was doing it, but everything was out of pocket. So one day, as we're meeting to have the carnival, Tyrone, we had reconnected. Tyrone is at the table, and so Tyrone is hearing all these numbers, hearing everything that we do and stuff like that. And Tyrone is like, "Yo, why y'all doing this with y'all? Why y'all don't get a nonprofit? Because y'all basically doing nonprofit work." I've never heard.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about the nonprofit world. Tamika knew nothing about the nonprofit world. The following Monday, we had the papers filed after he said that. You understand what I'm saying? Now, going on 6 years of it, we've built a massive operation. We still don't have enough people to run this operation the way it needs to be ran. It's still primarily on Tamika, on myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, so questions like that is important to ask because people will understand why we ask for donations, why we get funding here, why we go for grants here. It's to pay staff and to pay, it's a major business.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you wouldn't take it offensively if someone called what Seasoned Foods or Seasons gives a scam?
I'm not going to take offense. I'm not going to take offense to ignorance.
Okay.
You're ignorant. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're asking that question, and ignorance is not a bad thing.
Right.
No.
Right?
Yeah,
Once you
take
have
it
the
as right.
information, you're no longer ignorant.
Right.
So once I give you the information and you still choose to be ignorant, that's on you.
Can you? I hope I'm not trying to get drag this out even any more than it has been, but that is there's so many similarities from what you just said to where from my perspective. Just like how you were saying, people don't know what it takes to build be a nonprofit and whatnot,
Right.
and it's an important conversation to have so people
Right.
know.
Right.
This was an important conversation to be had, and like you said, Tyrone, it could have been worded differently, it could be delivered differently and whatnot.
That's the only thing I see.
Right,
Yeah.
but also, it doesn't necessarily. Yes, it could have, but it didn't necessarily have to either. Because at the same time, if you speak logically, not emotionally, because that's what you like to do. Not
depends, though.
emotionally, like you like to speak logically instead of emotionally, correct?
But that depends, though. You understand that?
What the fuck? What do you mean?
What the fuck I mean is that it depends on what the fuck you're looking for. So if you're sitting up here,
I'm looking for logic, not emotions,
No,
Tyrone.
no, but if you listen what
Not
I'm
you,
saying.
not y'all.
But listen
the
what I'm
people in the
saying.
comments,
Listen what I'm
the
saying.
community.
Let me tell you why I said it depends. Because if you want to go ahead and be on goddamn Clemens Rock and you want the business, you gonna put shit out there to get the business, correct? So meaning if I want a certain response from you, I'm gonna put certain things out there to get that response from
Right.
you.
And again, that's
And
why.
it's based
go on.
on. I think that what I want you to understand, what I clearly could say that you don't understand, is that you put something out there and you have to be honest with yourself.
Go ahead.
You really didn't think about how you put it out there,
definitely
and you
did.
you wanted a certain positive to negative response that was organic and generally not a target to you. You just wanted a response. But what you're failing to realize is that the way you put it out, if you want bad energy, you're successful in that. That's how you put it out. If you wanted all that riffraff, you successfully done that. If you wanted a generic, calm, cool response and real, facts responses, you failed in how you delivered it. That is the fact.
Okay.
So, like I said, the reason why I say it depends, because if you want the toxic energy, if you want it, then you're gonna put shit out differently. If you want another way of receiving it, you're gonna put it out differently.
That's not. You listen. Can I respond?
Sure, bro.
Why I want to say that's not true, because you can't control how people respond. Because when literally. Right after I put that out, I put out a whole positive hour-and-a-half long video interview with Sims, bigging him up, uplifting him, praising him, giving him feedback, giving him gems and advice to how he could further his career, Did it receive a whole bunch of positive, the equivalents of
But it was
positive
right after
energy?
though, right?
Right after.
So let me just
and,
say,
and all before was the same type of energy.
You failed to realize something again.
What else am I failing to realize, Tyrone?
You failed to realize
What?
that you already smacked the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who has smack? Vel
Dollaz.
or the community? Because
You already smacked Velas in this point.
okay.
It doesn't matter if you put Jesus on the next podcast and you was interviewing him. People already in their feelings and they feel kind of way, so it doesn't really matter. It's you haven't completed smacking Velas.
He put Jesus on this podcast. He going viral, son.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
I'm just telling you, you
It's
saying
tough.
you saying
It's
that
tough.
it didn't matter. It
Yeah,
does
if
matter.
Donald Trump, if
It
Chris
does
Brown,
matter.
that's what I'm saying. That
It
didn't
does
matter.
matter.
That didn't matter.
What?
What you just said did not matter at all because and it wasn't true. And you're saying I'm failing to realize, but you're not spitting facts. Just because I was speaking to your positive energy versus negative energy.
In positive energy, you can still get negative energy. Correct.
That's also not what I was saying. Anyway, just like
I'm just saying-
just like Marnique said, if I have Jesus on here, and that was obviously a radical example, that negates your point that you just made because you just said because I smacked Vel or whatever, I got a negative taste in the mouth of the community. But if Jesus, Donald Trump, Chris Brown, anybody,
You just
Yo,
Listen, what he's
but I'm
saying is,
speaking to Marnique's point, which is again
the home run,
negating.
baby. You missed it, man.
but that's not negating what he's saying.
That's
He's
not-
just
nah.
further validating what
All
he's
right,
saying.
I think
Alright.
we should move on to the next topic.
Yo, you know what? What's crazy
Yo,
is
bro,
we honestly
bro,
been
we
at this
good.
for 2 hours.
Yo, we good.
So there is
We
no
good.
next topic.
No,
There is
I'm
no
just
next
telling you,
topic.
bro. Hey,
It's been a-
listen.
it's been 2 hours
for
now,
real, for real.
been
Listen,
honest. So we gotta actually wrap this up.
we about to close
Hey,
it
yo,
up.
bro,
I'm going to say
I would like
this.
to
It's
say-
going to my close
I
up.
would like to be back on, please.
It ain't gonna be my
course,
close
why
up.
not?
It gonna be my close up.
My phone
Bro,
about to die and everything.
I just really, yo, bro. Listen.
No, but like for real,
I don't
for
want
real,
you to
for real,
take-
I got-
listen.
for real, let me cut you off.
All right,
real
go
quick.
ahead.
Now I'm gonna cut you off.
You good? I told you cut me off, man.
All three of y'all can be back on this.
It's cool.
No.
It's cool.
No, why are you saying it's cool? Listen, bro. Listen.
Because
to me,
you my
listen to
my
me real
little
quick.
homie.
'Cause
You call me like
no.
like I put up. What I put up on the cast? The little lion called us.
Oh,
We here.
Right.
I
know.
pull up.
I appreciate it. And we speaking before yesterday. We speaking as OG to the youngin. Let's speak man to man real quick. Real
Okay.
quick. All three of y'all can come back on. All three of y'all still got respect, flowers given to all three of y'all.
Yeah, no love lost.
No love at all. Not even close.
Definitely
Not even respect.
Right.
I'm thoroughly disappointed because this could have educated so many people, and instead y'all fueled everything, all the haters, all the toxic people, all the different things, even with jokes, with facts, with imaginary facts, with hypotheticals. I mean, not say imaginary. So in that respect, not because you didn't verify what I was saying, because I don't care about that, but
sure?
I thought as my
That's a
OGs
fact.
and as wisdom, we were going to. It was a possible chance to give.
Can I ask you a question?
Again, the importance of highlighting and uplifting your community.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm gonna come at you
Hold
right
on,
now.
let me
too,
ask you a
bro.
question.
I'm coming at you.
You acknowledge us multiple
That's what I
times.
was.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me wait for because I
Go ahead,
need,
bro. Go ahead.
No, because I need your
The
ear.
class is in session,
No,
bro.
I need your ear.
I'm
Because
gonna let y'all know if my phone dies.
All right.
it's all right.
All right.
This is more for you.
Please.
You acknowledged us multiple times as OGs, right? You acknowledged us multiple times as men of wisdom. You also acknowledged that we put in the work. How do you acknowledge us for all that stuff and take the information that we gave you and not think to yourself that you have to submit and listen to what we're saying?
Oh God.
Because OGs could disappoint you the same way. Like,
I hear you.
So it's like just because
what
you're an
I'm
OG
saying-
doesn't mean you can't disappoint me.
It
I've
doesn't-
been disappointed by my OGs before.
Right, but here's the thing. You're coming to us in a field that we are experts in, correct?
As far as giving back to the community.
And this is what we do,
Okay.
right? You open the podcast saying
Okay.
this is what we do,
Right.
right? You also, not only have you seen it, and this is the part that everybody's missed. You've been through our program that we've done, right? So you've seen. Not only have you seen it, you've been through it. You experienced it. We've given you advice as a man. We've given you advice as an entrepreneur. Everything, right?
Right.
I'm on this planet 50 years, right? So what I'm saying is that you don't think that instead of being disappointed, right, you got information that's completely out of the realm of what you thought you was gonna get. Instead of being disappointed, you got to taste the wisdom.
No, I didn't.
No,
So
you're not.
You
viewing
want
it-
me to tell you why I didn't?
So hold
You
on.
want me to tell you why I didn't? Because
this
again,
is the reason.
go
Hold
ahead,
on.
do you
So
think-
I'm
do you think-
gonna say this and I'm gonna be done.
Okay, cool.
That's the reason why we are your OGs, and you're in that position because you can't. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying, and listen.
Mark,
you
can I be
listen,
your
listen,
OG?
Listen.
Well, go ahead, do your
listen.
thing.
No, you can't.
Obviously,
No,
because
you can't.
I'm 28. I can't
no,
be your
no,
OG.
No, you can't. But you could.
And honestly, you
could lead in wisdom.
You wouldn't be my OG if
But
you was
listen,
28.
but
So like
listen,
that's
but
the real
listen.
reason why you
But
an
it doesn't mean
OG.
he can't learn
The
something
point.
from
The
you,
point.
though,
The
Jelani.
point is.
that's a fact.
The point
I agree with that. Go
is
ahead.
that you could sit here and be wiser. You could sit in a position and be wiser, and I could be the person that's in a mentee's role, right? But what I'm saying is, in this particular situation, because you saw this as a disappointing conversation, and I say this with respect, right?
That means it's about to be disrespectful. Go
No,
ahead.
no, it's not going to be disrespectful.
Right. And I was
It's-
and I listen. I
it's-
That's the
responded.
problem right
My fault.
there.
That's my
right.
fault.
No,
That's
that's
the
what I'm
problem
saying.
right
What I'm
there.
saying is that
Respectfully, what?
respectfully, that's the reason why you're in the position of listening to what we're saying and trying to pick and choose and trying to prod, and it doesn't make sense to you because you won't submit. You just won't.
Nigga, I'm not submitting to no man, especially if I'm having a conversation.
but
We
that's
having a
not submit to
conversation.
the man.
Are you
Listen,
trying to
listen,
dominate me?
hold
What we talking about?
Listen,
Like, cut it out.
Listen, bro. No, let me finish, bro. Let me finish.
Because we having a conversation.
Listen,
You don't even
listen,
like being
listen,
cut
listen.
off. Like
Bro,
I'm not gonna.
listen.
You're not talking to your wife. You're talking to me. So I'm not gonna submit to what
Jelani,
you're saying. That like
Jelani.
that sounds crazy.
Submission is not a bad word.
I know.
It's not a bad word, bro.
It's-
That's the ego talking.
Okay.
That's right there. That's the ego talking.
That's fine.
You can submit to anyone.
Okay.
You can concede. You can take a backseat
Right.
role.
But we having a
and
conversation, Martin.
just
I'm not
let-
gonna just submit because you like, especially you asking me to submit to you. Like, first
I'm
of all,
not
to
asking
me,
you- I'm not asking you
to
to
me, that's
be- he's not
wild.
asking you to submit, he's asking you to be
submit.
receptive.
I'm not asking you to submit to nothing, bro. You're not listening to what I'm saying. What I'm saying, bro, is that this is a position that we have gone through for decades, right? We've gone through for decades, and you brought up a subject matter that you are having an issue with people attacking you, some agreeing with you, some attacking you.
Right.
You brought us to the table in the subject matter as theoretically experts in the subject matter. You thought we were going to lean towards your point of view because of what we do. But it didn't go that way. So what I'm saying is that that's where you have to look inward and say, you know what? Let me stay silent for a minute. Let me actually see their perspective and grab that perspective and process that. Instead, you were disappointed.
Right.
That's all that I'm saying, bro.
Right.
That's all that I'm saying. Okay? That's it. I'm done.
That's it right there.
That's it.
That's it right there, young king.
And that is all the time we have. Shout out to y'all if y'all are still watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, lovely guests, for coming through. Shout out to Wise Foods for sponsoring the podcast, and we will see you next time.
All right.